In the middle of the night, or early Friday morning, depending upon where you are in the world, a group of experienced comics professionals get together to examine and instruct about the art form that they love. That's great comic artwork on Comics by Night, Fridays at 5 a.m. Eastern, here on the Indie Comics Network, indiecomicsnetwork.com.
What was that? This is not a charade.
Holy shit. That is the craziest thing I have ever seen. And I'm Dennis Quaid, and Dennis Quaid has seen some shit.
In the time before Atlantis sank and the lands of the world were savage and untamed, one man would claim his destiny. Leaving his Atlantean tribe behind and throwing off the shackles of Lemurian bondage, he sailed the seas as a pirate captain before seizing his place as a king. And now that he has the throne, how long will he be able to keep it? This is The Shadow Kingdom, the classic sword and sorcery tale by Robert E. Howard, adapted by Randy Zimmerman, with artwork by Russ Leach. Available now at fundmycomic.com.
And welcome to another beautiful Thursday morning. Coming to you live here from the Midwest, Southern Indiana, Amish country, where the horse leaves your presence on the street. You actually have to wash your tires here. Can you believe that? You got to wash your tires.
Absolutely. That's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But I'll tell you what, the bread's delicious, and so is the apple butter. It also costs twice as much as it should.
There you go.
I didn't eat it yet because I wanted to show you guys. We got this bakery here in town. My daughter got up early to go get, look at the size of that tiger tail.
Tiger tail? Never heard of that.
It's called a tiger tail. It's a chocolate and a vanilla yeast donut.
Wow. That looks
twisted together. Look at that.
Yeah.
The thing is as big as my forearm.
Looks good.
So look at that. You be careful with my mic. I tried to change over mics this morning. And, for some reason, this stupid computer is not working with my... I don't know, man. And maybe it's not the computer's fault. Maybe it's what we call a picnic problem. Problem in chair, not in computer. Picnic.
Okay.
So it might be a me issue.
Okay. That's a new one.
and I just can't figure out how to get it to work. So we'll see. We'll see how that's going.
I just blame the hamsters.
Yeah, hamsters. Guys, I don't know if you saw this or not. I got this last night. Let me show you this real quick. Turn that volume on. Let me do a little refresh here, so we can start that from the beginning.
I think I've seen this. I'm trying to remember. Is this an older?
The body in the
Can you guys hear that?
over there.
Yeah.
I ran over there because I'm a healing monk to try and help, but obviously my magic wasn't strong enough because the dude's body was missing a head. So my friend decided to try and use a necromancer spell, which didn't work, which I knew it wouldn't. And apparently we contaminated the crime scene because that spell uses a lot of glitter. Man, when my friend John
That spell
Oh
uses
my
a lot
God.
of glitter.
Gonna need to send me a link. Gonna
Yeah, I'll get you that one.
yeah, send me that link. There's a couple of really nice clippable moments right there.
I love. I mean, let's be honest. If we went to the park and saw LARPers out there, we'd all chuckle, probably make fun of them a little bit. But let's be honest. Sometimes I wish I could just escape into a fantasy world like they do,
Yeah.
and not have to deal with what we deal with here every day.
Luke, think
Yeah.
of the optics. Don't do it. Think
Don't
of
do
the
it.
optics.
You know what? At
Yeah.
this point, I don't even care about optics. I mean, you got grown men running around acting like little babies, you
Yeah.
know, saying they're whatever. I'm like, no. No.
Yeah, at that point, you look pretty grown up still in comparison to a lot.
Yeah, I'm like, at this point, you can't shame anybody for anything now. It's
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
that
is-
night.
that is
that
one
night had the
bonus,
face-
right?
Yeah, that night had the face of an accountant. Like you can tell.
right. Yeah,
He
and
knows numbers.
but the whole thing where you can't shame anyone for anything
Mm-mm.
works out well for you, Pedro. You
Yeah.
pineapple-headed freak.
Yeah, exactly. I can be Latino. I can be a minority. I have all the decks.
You can be whatever you want.
Exactly. Yeah, I have the whole
So
deck
much freedom.
of minority oppression. I'm untouchable.
Oh yeah, the oppression.
See, your actions have consequences. When you oppress people, they rise up in a fiery anger.
Yeah.
It means you're a catcher, not a pitcher.
Thank you, Doug. We appreciate that. Thank you for chiming in this morning. Oh my goodness. So we took last week off. I was it was just not a good week. I was we had a widespread internet outage and they couldn't figure out. I thought maybe somebody hit a pole or something. But there were people that were way longer getting their internet back. And part of it would come back on and then it'd go back off and they couldn't figure it out. So it was kind of a fiasco around here.
That's nice.
So yeah, so I decided on that Wednesday night just to go ahead and call it. And it was pretty good because I had work to do anyway.
Look, do you live in Honduras?
No, might as well. Might as
Yeah.
well.
The internet
Listen.
outage?
Yeah, we're surrounded by farmland.
Amish country. You know what that means? They had to throttle the signal
Amish.
because they were watching too much porn.
Yeah,
Right.
probably. But
Yeah.
doesn't that internet like
Springer.
run on
Yeah, this-
churned butter? Yeah.
Those young Amish were on Rumspringa.
Rum Springer.
Rumspringa. They were
It's that time of
they were
year.
watching they got phones, were watching that prawn on the internet.
They got Rama sprung. That's what they did.
I love it. Randy, how was your week, man?
Same as always. Crazy as
Same as
ever.
always.
It's all good. It's all good. Getting
Anybody
ready
banging on
to.
windows today?
Who what?
Anybody banging on windows today?
Nobody. No construction guys. I made the wife promise this year, no big projects. So
Oh, okay then.
yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see. A little bit of paint, a little bit of trimming. That's fine. But-
Vaughn Coleman,
Yeah.
welcome back
Yeah.
to the panel, my friend.
It's good to be here, man.
Yeah,
It's good to be
have you
here.
too. So, it's this a little early for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm working on my sleep schedule, so this is good. This is really good. Because I have been like, why are there like no hours in the day? I have to stay up so late, and it's like it's a cycle that I'm perpetuating myself.
Yep. Yes, sir.
One day I just decided, yeah, I'll have a shorter day today, and then earlier. But I'm too stubborn. And yesterday I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna go to bed at a reasonable hour, and I did.
Good for you, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Welcome.
did.
Welcome to adulting, which sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You better start that young. Yeah, that's
I find I'm way more productive in the morning before people in this industry wake up and get going than
Yeah.
than afterwards because I get more art done. I try to get all my comic stuff done early in the morning. And there was a couple days Vaughn's messaging me. I'm like, dude, it's like 11:30. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, I'm sorry about
Like
that.
I'm gonna get you.
No, I understood. I understood that. I was like, what I did was like, once everyone else is like, I can't anymore, I would work on a video essay. Which, speaking of that, like, so I was like, oh, I want to do, casually, the new game's coming out. I'll just do like a quick video essay. It'll help boost the channel, whatever. Well, that turned out to be 49 pages, which turned out to be, it is currently sitting at 2 hours and like 15 minutes.
Dear Lord, Vaughn, you could be a preacher.
Yeah.
You could be a preacher up there.
So I have to edit in the gameplay footage.
Yeah, if you could just develop your bark, you could be a preacher with that kind of going on.
Yeah, really. I think I've sold anyone who doesn't think it's a good game. I think by the end they'll at least be like, well, Vaughn thinks it's a good game.
Yeah, at least Vaughn thinks it's a good game. Hey, but your launch pretty successful, man.
Yeah,
funded in just 24 minutes or something.
Probably less. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it's about that. It's doing really good. The campaign looks good. We'll look at that a little bit more today. We had you on a couple weeks ago and introduced you to the audience.
Yeah.
So today we just we want you to help chime in on some of these news articles. Give us your opinion.
Of course.
Yeah. What we'd like to do here is we're going to prepare you for getting old. Okay.
Oh no.
We are men over 40 here.
Mm.
Right on this panel, the three of us here.
Never
men
too
over
late.
40.
I'm not saying nothing.
Men over 40.
Mm-hmm.
Our favorite thing to do is to complain about things.
Yeah.
Talk about the things that just burn our toast. I mean, that's we love to do that.
We don't
really want to do. We don't really want to do anything about it. We just like to point at it and say, "Look how stupid that is."
Yeah. Don't we like hate positivity? Like I'm feeling that. Like, when I see like a spry people that's like spry for more than 10 minutes, I just hate his guts.
Right.
And
it's like for some reason I want to punch you.
Yeah.
But no, honestly I do. We're a fairly positive channel here. We try to give things that are uplifting and at least leave with some encouragement. But it's fun to complain a little bit, and I think that's why some of those internet shows are the way they are. But what we're going to do is we're going to complain without the drama. Like,
is that what it is?
It's going to be like old men at the local diner in the morning, drinking their coffee, just complaining about your favorite sports team. Well, I'll tell you that coach, whatever.
Yeah, it's public complaining is what it is.
So we got a few articles we can do that with this morning.
Get off my comic.
Get off my lawn. Yeah.
Dude, I'm having too much fun to be grumpy, man. I just bought a new chainsaw, and I'm. Yeah, dude.
Yeah. We've seen those movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, everybody says like, dude, I'm only attacking like wood, not people.
Oh, okay.
At least
for now. For now.
For now. Yeah.
Panamanian.
That's what they all say too. No one buys a chainsaw with the intent,
Yeah.
With the intent. Yeah.
Yeah, with the say so. Like,
maybe one or two people do. Maybe one or two people do.
Well, I mean, I guess Leatherface. I assume their family had plans, but
Yeah. Oh yeah, that would be Leatherface. That was a great movie.
Went to dinner with Leatherface one time. Yeah.
You went to dinner with Leatherface?
What Gunnar Hansen?
Yeah.
No.
Holy crap! No way.
Oh, the
no,
actor?
No.
I thought you were talking about a girl called Leatherface.
That story doesn't end there. I went to dinner, same dinner. Tom Savini, Gunnar Hansen, Angus Scrim, and Douglas Bradley.
Wow.
All at the same table. I got pictures. I got a picture at least.
Look at Randy crawling out of that hole.
All at the same table, all eating Mexican food. And there's nothing like Pinhead.
Was it a Mexican restaurant?
Yes, it was a Mexican restaurant.
Well, of course they're eating Mexican food. Come on.
It's called
So there was a massacre afterwards. I see.
There was a who?
A massacre afterwards.
Oh, pretty much, yeah.
Hey, you will have a Mexican,
Well, Gunnar Gunnar was a cook. He had a Tex-Mex restaurant down in Texas where he lived. And Douglas Bradley is English, practically unknown, the finer parts of Mexican food. So the thing that busted the table up was Douglas Bradley turns to Gunnar Hansen and says, "What is a chimichanga?"
Oh, no.
And everybody on the table just rolled.
I love a chimichanga.
And there's no way I can make that as funny as
That's when you're
Douglas's just a hardcore English accent looking at Gunner with a straight face. Just what is a chimichanga?
Exactly what is it?
Yes.
What
What a great evening. It was fun.
You know, we love Mexican food here in the Stone House.
Yeah,
Like,
done with the chewing.
Dude, I will. We say. I accidentally said this in front of my friend's 3-year-old at the time. I was like, "There's like, you guys want to go do Mexican?" I'm like, "I'm a slut for Mexican."
Oh,
I'm like,
no.
I eat Mexican food all the time.
And the baby started like, slut.
Yeah, and the girl's like,
Slut.
"I'm a slut for Mexican. I'm a slut for Mexican." I'm like, "Oh crap, there we go."
Oh,
There you are. Yep.
Slut.
Yeah, who'd you learn that from? The Preacher. I learned that from the Preacher.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you want some milk, baby? Slut.
You know, it's funny. It's funny. You know, the word slut is looked down on, but how many preachers call people whore?
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like whore is a lot worse than slut.
You know which one's worse? Harlot.
Harlot, whoredom,
Yeah, which
whoredom
one's
and harlot,
harlot. Like, you
Yeah.
harlot.
whoremonger. Yeah,
You Jezebel.
a lot of words there. We're saying a lot of words this morning. It's going to get us struck.
Yeah, we are.
Yeehaw! It's going to be fun. It's going to be
Captain
fun.
Harlot,
Pedro,
one of my favorite animes.
Pedro, what have you cut with that chainsaw?
Oh, nothing, dude. Like, I'm working on Waifus and Kaijus. I'm on page 49 now. And it's
49.
the first, it's a splash page of ass and robot. I love it.
Ooh.
I'm going to show it later. And I just finished the big project I was working on, so I'm happy. But you guys are not going to see it like in about a year. So, yeah, that's the life of the animator. And
I just finished with Terminal Kill.
Nice.
I'm
Sweet.
done.
Good.
We're done with that now. Well,
Done.
I got a couple of covers for the floppy still to draw
Oh, nice.
and some pre-press stuff to do for it, but
Yeah.
outside of that, I'm done.
Awesome.
Next month, I'm moving on to Pawn, that 5-issue series. So that should be fun. I'm looking forward to that.
That's the homage to Spawn, only with a chess theme to it.
No. Close.
Okay.
No, it's about a pawn shop. Yeah.
Okay.
Where like a lot of like really weird and crazy stuff take place. There's like a wizard involved. There's a demon. I just designed the demon. I'm waiting on approvals for colors. I had a couple color schemes ideas for it, but it's fun, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's a little different than the stuff I've been doing, which for a little over a year I've been kind of doing this suspense thriller thing, which the ending turned out really well. I was pretty happy with how it turned out.
Cool.
We wound up having to have 2 coloring teams jump on it so we can get it done in time for Tony to take it over to whatever foreign place he's going for this film festival.
Cans.
Probably that's the one. Yeah, that's probably the other big one.
Why not?
Yeah, so he's taking it there to show it off because I think he's wanting to still make a movie out of it, but he's got a couple more ideas he says he wants for graphic novels. And,
there you go.
And then we'll see. So, it's here's the thing, guys. I love drawing comic books.
Yeah.
I love telling stories. I love writing stories. I love doing that. I love working with people to get their comics. I really love what I do with Fund My Comic, helping people get funded, giving advice, being there, celebrating their wins with them. I just love that,
Kissing the banks. Yeah.
But what I really don't love
Here
is
here we go.
Here, this is what burns my toast. Right? This is what makes my bacon a little too crispy.
There you go.
It is just the unmitigated negativity that people in this particular subculture and in this industry tend to gravitate towards. This just outrage for outrage's sake, drama for drama's sake. It's they steal the escapism. They try to steal the joy of this beautiful art form, of this wonderful fandom and hobby. They just try to steal the joy right out of it by making it about themselves and pretending like it's like they're the king of this crazy, stupid kingdom.
Yeah.
When it's really just full of jesters and no kings at all.
Oh,
Right.
ain't that the truth?
And
And not the fun kind where it's like, because Kurt Russell had a quote where he's like, "I'm the court jester and I never aspired to be anything more." It's not like that kind of court jester. It's the
Right, yeah. Dude, I'll tell you, Kurt Russell is based.
He is. And you
That
know what's the
dude's
thing
based.
too, by the way? Him and John Carpenter, there's a clip I posted Twitter, like probably it could have even been a year ago, where John Carpenter is talking about how he considers himself far left, and in his eyes, Kurt Russell's far right. I think he's a libertarian though.
He is
But anyway,
libertarian, yeah.
point is, he's like they have very different views. They've done like what 8 movies together? It's never affected their relationship at all.
Yeah.
And it
That's the way it should
shouldn't.
be. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the way it
shouldn't.
should be.
Yep.
I am convinced.
It's almost like that's a normal thing.
Yeah, I'm convinced that if I actually met a reasonable Democrat,
Yeah.
that
Mm.
them and myself, I'm using they thems because I don't know if it would be a man or a woman that I would wind up or.
Look at you.
I mean, I could non-binary. I could probably work as long as they're reasonable.
Yeah.
I could work with, and we could disagree politically, but having mutual respect for each other. So my wife and I were watching this show. It's something about, they're in this like like these are murderers in this jail, and they try this experiment where they open the doors.
Grey's
They were on
Anatomy.
23. No, they were try Grey's Anatomy. They were on 23-1. That means 23 hours of the day they were locked in their cell, and 1 hour a day they were allowed to get out and be around everybody and kind of have some free time.
Mhm.
But they opened it up to where 24 hours a day they could just roam free if they wanted inside of their
The
cell,
confine?
inside of their unit. And we watched it. It was really interesting because they had a lot of problems, right? They had a lot of problems, but towards the end they realized that one of the inmates said, you just got to have some respect and decency for the person next to you. That you may not agree with them on everything, you may not, but what you do and what they do affects each other, and you just got to treat people with some decency and respect.
Yep.
Instead of just going off all the time.
Oh,
And I was like, man, these people in this jail
yeah.
get it more than the people that you find on social media.
So-
They have no
so-
common decency.
So, Luke.
Yeah.
How many people you need to murder to get to that conclusion?
Well, apparently for that guy too.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's reasonable.
For that guy too. Only two.
Only 2.
Guys, let's welcome our chat this morning because we got quite a few people here with us today.
Yeah.
We got Gray Wolf is in the house today. Welcome,
Grey Wolf.
Gray Wolf. He dropped the graphics.
Nice.
I'm used to seeing Gray Wolf graphics. Gray Wolf's in the house. Good morning, y'all. We got Dr. Mask, Retro Elixir in the house. Hail nerds. Hail, hail. Today is a good day to have a good day. Let's go. I agree. We got Glenn Fleming in the house.
Oh, no.
Glenn.
I'll tell you what, I can't wait to finally meet that guy. I don't know if Glenn's a hugger, but when I see Glenn in person, I'm gonna hug that man.
Dude, I'm looking forward to meeting Glenn's butler.
Were you
There
guys
you
going
go.
to a convention somewhere?
No, he's talking about coming over to the States, and
Oh, nice.
wherever he ends up over here. I mean, if he's willing to jump the pond, hop the
Glenn-
pond,
Glenn
I'll
is a
find my way
man
to
of the
him.
world. He travels a lot.
Yeah,
does,
I want
whenever he
to
can.
meet like his adjutant, his butler, and all his staff. And
I travel
me.
from this seat to the kitchen.
There
You
you
like
go.
the
And
butler
back.
from Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
That's what I do. We got Combo Black Belt Russ Leach in the house.
What's up,
Hey,
bud?
it's good to have you. Levi Skeen is also with us. Hail, chat.
Hi.
Good to have you here. There's Pedro.
Yeah.
And, the young star Vaughn
There you
Yes.
is in the house. Yeah.
Yeah.
go. He's shiny.
I may be falling into a pizza coma. There's nothing wrong with that.
Uh-oh.
Pizza, I'll tell you, pizza makes me lethargic. I love pizza, but all the bread
Mhm.
messes with my
White,
beatus.
white flour.
Messes with my beatus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Beatus.
I just prefer to eat meat and vegetables now, which is really weird.
Yeah.
White flour is probably like turkey to you. But
Like a caveman.
Yeah, it makes me sleepy and lethargic.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. We got Sketchy Guy Nevada in the house. Welcome.
So,
Good to have you here today. There's a fantasy world you can escape
guy.
into. It's called whiskey.
And that's how adults
Okay.
do it. And that's how adults do it. That what I'm LARPing. Yeah.
Whiskey.
Yeah.
Where's my clip, man?
Yeah. There you go.
That is not a joke. That is a natural fact.
Yeah, I am predisposed for alcoholism, so I got to be careful.
Yeah.
You know how I knew? I was
What's
10
that?
years old. 10 years old.
Mm.
And they I was going up for communion for my first time.
Uh-oh.
This church. And this church used real wine, right?
Nice.
So I went up and and I had the bread. And I was like, yeah, that's dry.
And you
And then
you did a soak.
then I had the wine. I'm like, oh. So I went back through for seconds. I didn't realize you weren't allowed to go back for seconds.
Oh,
And I was like, nah, I already had that one. I want some more of the. Give me
That's
some more of that blood, baby. That's when I
common
realized I might potentially have a problem
mistake. Yeah.
moving forward in life. Welcome, Mike. Jimmy's in the house. Hey, yo.
Mike.
Hey,
Jimmy.
what's up, Jimmy,
Hey,
fellow
lovely. It's
animator.
great to have you here.
Yeah, he's doing a great job on his channel. Like doing
He
good
is doing a
animation
great
thing.
job.
That's really good.
I don't get to watch much. I got so sick of everything. So last couple weeks in the church world, there's been some big up to do's, and there are these guys. I call them heresy farmers or heresy hunters. They're out there trying to hunt for heresy, and that's all their channel is about. And it's a little annoying. They're not uplifting anybody or doing anything good, really. They're just pointing out how the same bad players that we always known about, how they're wrong, like how they're
Could
doing.
Could you imagine a comic book like a medieval Justice League
Called the Heresy Hunters.
The Heresy Hunters.
That's it. I'm writing it now. That's
Yeah,
it.
dude.
The Heresy Hunters.
There you go.
But I get tired of these. I get tired of these guys.
No
and
one
so-
expects the heresy.
Heresy Hunters. Yeah, and they
Yeah.
call themselves like saints. Like I'm Saint Bernard. And it's
Saint
like,
Bernard.
Yeah.
And I'm Saint Bernard. They're all like dog.
Yeah, it's a dog like
Saint.
I'm great, and I'm
Hilarious.
Dane the Great.
Yeah. Dude, the Heresy Hunters. Yeah.
Yeah, the Heresy Hunters. They're
Make it
funny.
happen.
Yeah. So I don't get into those. So I like kind of like theology stuff and then and the comic book stuff, most of it's gotten really negative. So I've just stopped watching. I'll still watch Bancroft in replay. I don't stay up late enough to watch him anymore. And I'll watch a few other guys. John's Long Box is pretty good.
Oh, yeah,
John Box is great. I was just on his
John's
show
good.
the other day. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, like they focus on comics and the love of this
Yeah,
thing.
and he's classic New York, so that's a
Yeah,
plus.
and then Comics by Night, Sunday Funnies.
Mhm.
So there's a few of them that I'll watch, but for the most part, like they've just kind of all like feels like everything's just going to the negative and just getting pulled into this cesspool of weird,
Mhm.
And so I've been watching a lot of. For some reason, YouTube thinks that I want to learn about the diddley bow.
What the hell is
what?
that?
It's a one-stringed instrument, a diddley bow.
A diddly bow.
Yeah,
And it's
diddley bow.
decided that this is what. I mean, that's still probably more entertaining than a lot of what's going on now.
It is, and so I've been learning about this diddley bow, but the diddley bow and the cigar box guitar are very similar, right?
The diddly
And
bow
the
sounds
cigar-
sexual, man.
The three-string cigar box guitar runs a 158 tuning, 3 strings, which is the exact same tuning as my dulcimer.
Dulcimer,
And
yeah.
so everything on the cigar box guitar can be reversed, and I can play it on my dulcimer. So I've really been getting into that, and so I've kind of picked up a new hobby. I was refinishing a dulcimer. I purchased electric dulcimer. I did a couple of things to it, a couple modifications, was doing a finish to it, and then I decided that when that was over, it's like that was really nice because when I got stressed, I could just run downstairs and I'll just do a couple things and teeter around, clean a couple things up and then come back upstairs. And I decided I want a project on my table there
Oh,
downstairs,
If you
kind of
get
ongoing.
If you get stressed out, dude, like a mole axe and wood, not people.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, just dude,
that might kill me, man.
yeah, dude.
My lungs are not like great, right?
Yeah, no, but it's not. You don't need to do that many swings, dude.
Like,
Like
I can probably get 4 swings
dude,
before
I'm
I'm
a
sleeping on the
50-year-old
ground
man.
outside.
I do like 10. I like break up a sweat, take a shower, and dude, like
Yeah.
I'm not mad anymore.
We had 4 days of summer, and
Oh,
it went
no.
right back down to the 40s.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Oh,
this
dude.
sucks.
Mm.
So I can't wait till it gets warm again. But anyway, so I decided I'm gonna start. I figured out how to, watch guitar out of anything. So I'm making instruments in my spare time, having fun, just going down, carving things out and just see how they turn out and experiment with stuff. And then I found this guy named C6 Steve.
Okay.
You guys ever heard of this guy?
Oh yeah, dude, he's awesome.
Dude, I love this guy.
So good.
Yeah,
And
he
he
pulls huge
looks-
crowds.
He looks like a hobo. Like you think that he's
Yeah.
picking up cans, and dude, he opens his mouth, starts playing.
If you
will-
never, like he goes, so he does this thing, like he'll grab one of his instruments. He has a diddley bow,
Yeah.
and he has a song called Diddley Bow, da da da. That's what it is, really good.
Yeah.
And he's playing one string and has a drummer with him, And I'm telling you, dude, it sounds amazing. I'm like, how's
Yeah,
this
dude.
one guy play this thing? He goes, this is a 2x4 with a guitar string nailed to it. And this right here, this is a handle off of a Ford pickup. Does absolutely nothing. And he goes, this here is a can of Green Giant corn. He's got this can nailed there, and that's where he's got his jack put onto it. So he has a place to put his jack there. And he goes, and he has a couple instruments that he's, that are kind of built like this. And he goes, and it sounds like shit.
Yeah, but he makes it work though.
And it's funny because he says that, but then it doesn't. Like, it sounds amazing. He's using this old ratty tweed Fender Bassman amp that just sounds so good, so good.
Yeah,
yeah. And I'm like,
it's
man,
it's like a weathered amp. You know what I mean? Like when you have use an amp for a couple of years, it just gets like weathered, and it's earthy.
And what's funny is he released a song yesterday, a new song called "Internet Cowboys," and he talks about them internet cowboys want to get in your house and cause a ruckus or whatever. And he says you maybe just unplug from the screen and go outside and learn to play the guitar or something, Yeah, so just get away from it and find a hobby is basically what the gist of the song is. But yeah, and I think a lot of us need to do that, which comics used to be that gateway. Now everybody's terminally online.
But the thing is, like comics, it's my job, right? So I do that for 8 to 10 hours daily, and I need to stop myself because I'm really enjoying myself. But dude, I live in a big property and there's things to do. I'll take breaks like changing locks and doors, chopping wood, doing things with the water supply. I'm not putting things in the water supply, people. That sounded weird.
Okay.
But yeah, like doing like plumbing. Doing plumbing stuff, and dude, it keeps you grounded. Like you hear the noise from X or whatever, and you just go like, they're doing that now. Like it doesn't really affect you because you're dealing with the real. And that's something that we should all like strive to do.
Russ says over 50 and your favorite activity is not giving an F.
Yeah.
You don't give an F about nothing.
Nothing.
Welcome, Immortal Rising Comics. Good to have you here.
Hey.
How you doing?
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
Yep, good to have you here. Good to have you here. We got CJ in the house. Welcome, CJ. Hail. It's great to have you here. Glenn says, I'm a hugger. Good.
Hey, is CJ cosplaying Vaughn? I think
Miss Saren is in the house. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning. To you, my lady. It's good to have you here. Hojo is with us. Welcome, Hojo.
What's up, Hojo? Yeah.
Hojo.
Glenn says I had to let the butler go.
You liar.
I have a valet now. I had to let the butler go. Times are tough.
Times are tough.
When Glenn lets the butler go.
Yeah. Like
welcome, LA Irish wristwatch.
Yeah.
In the house. I love Dulcimer talk.
Hey.
I do love Dulcimer. I love the Dulcimer.
Hey, is Hojo here?
I have a lot of fun with that. I don't know. Hojo, if you're available, pop on into the panel
Hojo's
today.
In the house. Yeah.
Gotta admit, the amount of shows I watch nowadays is really minimal too. It's more a lack of time because of a baby and a wife. Dude, you don't have that.
That
the negativity thing. Baby and wife. A life. What we call that is life.
Real life.
Real life. Yeah. It's good stuff. Welcome, Pixel Traders in the house.
Hey, what's up,
we got Shadowhawk in the house. Welcome, Shadowhawk. It's good to have you here today.
Shadowhawk.
That's a men's
we're getting ready to get into. You know what? I'm going to do something I don't normally do.
What?
Since we are low on panelists this morning.
Hojo says, okay, I'm here.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at this. I'm going to do one of these. Oh, this could get me in trouble.
Okay.
Y'all know the rules. Don't act up. We're going to go over some articles this morning.
Don't act
up. What do you guys
up.
think? You guys think about doing some articles? Yeah, welcome in. Let's come in and let's chat a little bit. Let's chat about comics. Let's chat about all this good stuff we got going. There's some good stuff, and we'll complain a little bit because, well,
we're old.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do this.
What's going on?
Bacon.
Yeah.
Making bacon.
Yeah.
We're going to go in reverse on this one.
Uh-huh.
Look who's here.
Not before we say hello to, there we are.
That Mike Jimmy.
Hey,
there he is. Mike Jimmy.
Mike, you know what? It makes me feel good. I ain't seen you in so long, man.
Yeah, dude.
It's been too long.
Yeah, it is.
Too long.
Fellow tall man.
Fellow tall man, fellow animator.
Yeah.
fellow foreign bro.
Yeah. But I don't know. Is it the same? Because he's in the Netherlands, so that's the first world. I'm like really, really foreign. Like I live in South of the border,
yeah,
world.
that is true. You
We eat strange looking fruit.
yeah, it's not the same.
Well,
The only thing we have is boiled potatoes and boiled vegetables. So
hey, come on,
like
bitterballen are really good. Like I actually like.
Oh yeah, okay. We know our fried food. We know our fried food. That's true.
Well, you know, if you don't have fried food, you might as well not even be alive.
Exactly. Yeah. Why bother?
Yeah. Well, on the other hand, you know,
fried Oreos.
Boiled
That's
everything.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Fried Oreos.
Fried Oreos.
Dude,
And you know what? Like people look down upon that herring with onions thing.
Oh yeah. So
but it's actually quite good. Yeah.
It's not.
I had a Dutch girlfriend for a while. Back when, so that's how I know. But yeah, it was enjoyable.
I can't figure out how to zoom.
Yeah.
My screen.
Oh, okay.
I can't figure out where the zoom thing's at on it. And I don't have the pinch controls anymore. So I'm all screwed up, man.
Wow.
I forgot to I broke my keyboard.
Dude, yesterday, all right.
I folded that thing in half last week.
The other day,
it was a rough day.
I was playing a game on my stream just because this reminds me of something, and I'm such an idiot. I got to this fight, and I was like, the game's glitched. I can't start the boss fight. And because I had my camera over part of the screen, there was a very obvious thing that just said, press this button to initiate boss fight. And for an hour, I'm playing this game, and I'm like, this sucks. I can't do anything. And then after I close out the stream, I'm like, sorry, guys, it sucks. I move my camera for a second. I'm like, no! It's right there.
And then it's fine.
Yeah, that's a humbling moment. And the thing is that makes you human. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, people are going to point and laugh. Don't get...
So people saw me log off, and they see me start another. All right, guys, I fixed the problem.
Figured out how to zoom.
You move the camera. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, control scroll.
Yeah, there we go.
This was I didn't know that she was married to Steve Lealoha.
Look, man,
I had no idea.
First article, rest in peace, Trina Robbins.
Yep.
Writer, artist, historian, advocate for comics for women and girls. Trina Robbins grew up loving comics, but came of age at a time when comics for girls and women had disappeared and the industry was dominated by men.
Huh.
She helped transform the medium by creating her own comics, publishing, and mentoring other women cartoonists, and documenting the history of the women who had always been a part of the industry but were seldom mentioned in the standard texts. Robbins was born in Brooklyn in 1938, the daughter of Jewish immigrants from Belarus, then part of Russia. She read and drew comics from a young age, and from the beginning, she gravitated towards female characters, Brenda Starr, Millie the Model, and Katie Keene. The multi-talented model created by Bill Walgan for Archie Comics. Katie Keene comics include both paper dolls and clothing designs submitted by readers, and Robbins created her own paper dolls as well as making her own comics. In her teens and early 20s, Robbins moved away from comics, turning her talents towards fashion design.
More money.
She sold her handmade dresses at craft fairs, ran a boutique in New York called Broccoli, and hung out with models and rock stars. Sounds like a fun life to me.
Yeah.
In 1969, she designed the costume and hairstyle for Vampirilla, the title character of Warren Publishing's black and white horror magazine, a companion to Creepy and Eerie. It was the New York alternative paper, the East Village Other, that got her back into making comics. The comics published there were radically different from those of her youth, and Robbins saw new possibilities there. The Other published her first comic strip, which was submitted on a whim, and then continued to publish her work regularly. She moved to San Francisco in 1970. That's a year to move to San Francisco, I'll tell you.
Yeah, dude.
Underground comics scene was just getting started. Working at the feminist paper, It Ain't Me, Babe. So here's the thing about the 70s feminist versus 2024.
They were
feminist.
fun. Yeah,
they were fun.
Yeah,
they were fun. These feminists are weird.
Killjoys. But they are.
In 1970, Robbins teamed up with Barbara Willie Mendez to produce It Ain't Me, Babe Comics, a 36-page anthology that included work by Robbins, Mendez, Nancy Kalish, Carol Kalish, Lisa Lyons, Meredith Kurtzman, and Michelle Brand. It is the first comic that is known to have an all-female creative roster. The comic was published by Last Gasp and went through 3 printings for a total of 40,000 copies. Wow, that's impressive.
That's a hit. Yeah.
With that proof of concept, Last Gasp publisher Ron Turner encouraged 2 of his staffers, Patricia Moodian and Tara Richards, to start an all-women's comic as an ongoing concern. Women's Comics. WIMMENS. Women's Comics. Launched in 1972 and provided not only a place for women cartoonists to publish, but a model for them to do so. Robbins was both contributor and one of the roster of editors who took turns with each issue. The comic became the centerpiece of the Women's Comics collection, which fostered female creators, and it was also the model for women's comics that followed, including Twisted Sisters by Diane Newman and Aline Kuminski-Krub. Wow, I got that. Kuminski-Krub. I think
Aline Kuminski-Krub. Yeah.
Who were originally members of the group but broke off because of creative and personal differences. Imagine that. Happens with men and women alike, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Robbins' interest led her far beyond the world of the underground. However, in 1981 through 1983, she adapted Sax Roman's Dope into comics for Eclipse magazine, and in 1985, Crown Books published her graphic adaptation of Tanith Lee's contemporary novel, The Silver Medal Lover. Both were republished over 30 years later by the late Drew Ford's It's Alive imprint. Robbins' next project was Misty, a limited series for Marvel Comics Star imprint, which was aimed at young readers. The comic was an updated version of Katie Keene for modern readers, with a heroine who was a soap opera actress and who appeared on the last page of the first issue wearing a barrel and asking readers to send in their clothing designs.
Dude, that would be considered so sexist today.
It would be, right? And
yeah.
Like if you did that today, that's clearly this is all men.
Yeah, it's like wow, like in a barrel, like wow, this is like.
But that was the women that did that, and now they'd be like, they'd be complaining like crazy.
Okay, just the women's comics.
Yeah.
You know, try and do that nowadays.
Yeah.
Men and women are different. They have different interests.
They do. Make comics for everybody.
You know how many times I tried to get my sister into my interests? It didn't work.
It's impossible. Yeah.
You know, every once in a while you'll find a girl that's into the same thing you are.
Yeah, every once in a while. It's rare. Just like every
And
once
then-
in a while
and then
you find a
she'll
guy
freak you
that
out.
wears dresses.
Comics.
Yeah, dude. You'll find a girl who's into your stuff, and then she'll freak you out.
I don't know about that, but like.
Oh, dude, like I'm 50 years old. I've tried dating nerds.
50. I'm 50.
I'm 50 years
years
old.
old.
I've tried dating nerds, and it just no.
Unfortunately, Misty only lasted 6 issues from 1985 to 1986. Readers loved it, judging from the enthusiastic fan mail, but had a hard time finding it at a time when comics had moved into the male-dominated direct market. In those days, if you wanted to buy a comic, you had to go into a comic book store. See, man, look at that. Newsstands would have killed.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. Like, didn't have like romance and like girl comics before.
Early days in newsstand,
Yeah, exactly.
romance, cowboys. Romance comics was the dominant comic genre.
Exactly, it was the
at
best
one point.
seller. And there's no boys buying romance comics.
No, romance comics died out at the end of the 70s. I think DC was the last one to print romance comics. Maybe Charlton printed a few after that, but not very many. But by the time 83, 86 rolled around, the whole market was different, though, because the direct market had sprung up.
Yeah.
So a lot of these books weren't circulated to the newsstands at all. Yeah.
And superheroes were it.
In those days, if you wanted to buy a comic, you had to go to a comic book store, which was wall-to-wall boys, and they didn't want to carry anything for girls. She told Alex
but
Dubin
if you go into
in an interview on The Beat.
If you go to Asia, like there's a subset of anime like that caters to women. It has its own name because you got like shonen for kids and then you got something that's, I don't know, like I'm not that much of a weeb to know, but
I do think though that's part of where the American comics market has messed up.
yeah,
We've stopped making kids comics.
Very much so.
Comic book shops, even though people make them, a lot of these comic book shops don't carry them. That's why they're in Scholastics, right?
Yeah.
So the people that would make that material now go to Scholastics, and we see what's happening there. And some of the stuff we're going to look at today is going to be, popular comics by adults and kids. And so I think we just go ahead. Vaughn, what was that?
Oh, it's almost like different people like different comics, and we should be catering to multiple audiences. And look, I'm the target demographic of like comics, right?
Right. Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that I should be the only demographic, and you have to understand that again, smaller kids aren't getting into comics. And also another thing too, and I've talked about this a number of times, is the difference between men and women. People think, oh, you just put female characters into the genre, and that's how little children think, right? Like my sister used to convince me, like, this is genuinely how it would work. I'd be like, oh, there's a princess in Star Wars. Oh, okay, there's a girl in it. You'll like it. And then she would be like, look, there's a prince in this movie. There's a guy in this princess movie. You'd like it. And that's how the adults running these companies are thinking. Oh, if you just throw a girl in a male-dominated genre and franchise, girls will watch it. It's like, no. Just like if you throw a boy in a female-dominated franchise, I'm not going to watch it. People like genres and types of stories.
Yeah, because the structure of the story is still the same.
Right.
Yeah.
It's pew, 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 explosion, explosion, but with a woman. And ladies see that, and it's like, I don't want to do that. I want to destroy a bridge. Like, no, they want to be like, stuff. What they like.
Want interpersonal dramas. And,
exactly.
And they're more complex creatures than we are.
Yeah.
And so they want more complex. They like mysteries. My wife loves mysteries.
Yeah, dude.
Like she like the Gone Girl stuff.
Oh,
she loves that kind of stuff. She loves the mystery, the thriller,
The last lady I was dating, like, she was really into those like serial killer documentaries.
A lot of women are.
And she freaked me out. It's like, why are you watching this so intently?
I've gotten into it too. I love that stuff too, because it's the act of how do you catch the bad guy?
Yeah,
I think is what they like. Like, how do they catch him?
She was fishing for techniques. She was fishing for techniques.
Maybe some people.
I know
it happens. It happens.
Yeah.
She continues, though I used to get manila envelopes stuffed with letters from girls who loved Misty. They said, I love your comic, but I have such a hard time finding it.
Yep.
She then created California Girls for Eclipse Comics, a similar series that ran for 8 issues from 1987 to 88, but it failed for the same reason comic shops wouldn't stock it. In 1986, Robbins also drew a 4-issue Wonder Woman miniseries, The Legend of Wonder Woman, written by Kurt Busiek. Robbins made another stab at comics for girls in 2000 when she created the superhero comic Go Girl. The comic, which were initially published by Image Comics but moved to Dark Horse Comics after 5 issues, were written by Robbins with art by Ann Timmons. However, the late 1980s were a rough time for Robbins. The underground had waned and she was never a good fit with them anyway. At the same time, she hadn't found her place among the new publishers and creators who were coming to the fore. I felt that I was over the hill, she told Dubin. I got to the point where when I attempted to draw, I couldn't. I just got really depressed and had anxiety, and so I just stopped. I couldn't do it. Although, that hurts my heart.
Yeah.
Although she dropped drawing, she continued writing and editing, and in 1990, she edited and published Choices, a pro-choice benefit anthology for the National Organization for Women, which brought together work by a wide range of male and female artists for the underground's comic strips and superhero comics. Over the years, she would edit and contribute to a number of such anthologies, including the 2023 Won't Back Down, a reaction to the Supreme Court Dobbs decision. So she and I are definitely on two different planes politically, but that's okay. I still respect her work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She also found a whole new direction for her energies, documenting the often forgotten history of women's comics creators. She started out by collaborating with Kat
Ironwood.
Thank you, Ironwood.
You're welcome.
On women in the comics published in 1985 by Eclipse, and went on to write A Century of Women Cartoonists and The Great Women Superheroes, published by Kitchen Sink Press in 1993 and 1997, respectively. From Girls to Girls, A History of Women's Comics from Teens to Zines, published by Chronicles in 1999, and The Great Woman Cartoonist, published by Watson Guptill in 2001. More recently, Fantagraphics Books has published her Pretty in Ink, North American Women Cartoonist 1896 to 2010, which was released in 2013. The Flapper Queens, Women Cartoonists of the Jazz Age, 2020. And Dauntless Dames, High-Heeled Heroes of the Comic Strips. She released in 2023. Hermes Press has also published a number of her books, including Babes in Arms, Women in the Comics During World War II, published in 2017. And Gladys Parker, A Life in Comics, A Passion for Fashion, in 2022.
Nobody's called Gladys anymore.
No.
Yeah, they don't know.
It's up to you to name one of your illegitimates Gladys.
Yeah.
Robbins was also one of the co-founders of Friends of Lulu, dedicated to promoting women cartoonists, encouraging publishers to create comics for females and retailers to sell them, and preserving the history of women in comics. The organization, which was formed in 1994 and closed its doors in 2011, was a prominent presence at comics conventions and published a guide for retailers on how to bring more women into their stores. They also sponsored the Lulu Awards and the Women's Cartoonist Hall of Fame.
Nice.
Continuing to practice what she preached, Robbins wrote many comics for female audiences, and she brought comics and history together with the 2011 publication of Lily Renee's Escape Artist, From Holocaust Survivor to Comic Book Pioneer, a middle grade graphic novel published by Graphic Universe that brought new prominence to the longtime comic artist. She also wrote the 2017 A Bunch of Jews and Other Stuff. Minion
That sounds fun.
Graphic adaptation of a collection of short stories by her father, which had been published in Yiddish in
That
1938.
sounds fun. I would like to read that.
Yeah, in 2002, Robbins responded to an ICV2 column on comics for children, saying Brian Hibbs wrote about how stores won't carry kids-friendly titles, and you put the responsibility for producing these comics on women. I say it's the responsibility of all of us, publishers and editors, retailers, and comics writers and artists. The editors have to give our kid-friendly comics a chance, and the retailers have to stock them. Only by working together can all of us add some needed diversity to the comics industry and maybe save it from going under. In fact, some of our kid-friendly comics at Arrow Comics got rejected by a distributor because they said there's not market viability for the kid-friendly comics.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's also, if you only have, you're going to have a generation of very feminine boys if the only people making comics for kids are women.
Bingo. Ring the bell for that, man.
That's what they want, though.
I know. I see it.
Great
That's
so.
what I'm saying. We got our eyes on you. We know what you're doing.
No, they're out to get rid of the direct market in general. So.
Well, that too. But
No, they're just out for the direct market.
maybe, but I also do think, I mean, even you look at the kiddie books, there's not masculine men. They're all like little, like feminine, chibi looking, or they're like.
No, there's plenty.
No, I'm talking.
Well, at least in Europe. I mean, okay, fair. In Europe.
Yeah, in Europe.
Europe.
But like,
In
if
Europe.
you look at American, go to like the kiddie rack. It'll be like these manga size, like YA little, or not even YA. These like really kiddie stuff. Like I still grew up with, even though I didn't like technically read comics until later. You know, you'd still have the buff superhero guys. The stories weren't too mature, but the men still look like men. But if you look at like the kiddie comics today. Like all right, here's what I'll compare it to. Like look at this show Teen Titans Go, right?
Yeah.
Is that what we want our kids superheroes to be? Right? Or do we want them to be I grew up on Justice League.
The whole bit like that, like
Dr. Mask, my daughter reads comics.
Nice.
Well, mostly anime, mostly manga, because there's not a lot of Western comics for her. But she does read. There are several that she has read, and she does read. In fact, she's introduced me to a few good stories that I might not have.
Yeah, that's the
picked up on
thing. Like
otherwise.
most of like animation enthusiasts and like young people I know, they read manga, and there's a lot of girls reading manga.
Oh yeah, I know.
There's really good manga.
Yeah.
I know way more girls that are into manga and anime than comics. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because
Well,
manga
yeah,
is
but that's
available.
because they're designed for
Everyone.
Boys.
And they got a broad audience. I mean,
Yeah,
they write books that appeal to all genres and all people.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, but that means we dropped the ball. Like
we're dropping the ball, guys.
Oh, we dropped all of them. We dropped the whole.
We dropped the ball 40 years ago.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
it's that.
That's what she said.
market for it.
When the direct market formed and Marvel and
Yeah.
DC realized that the main thing they were selling to retailers were male power fantasies, all of the other books went right to the wayside. Star Comics shut down. DC pops out every 6-7 years or so and tries to do a kids book or a Scooby-Doo tie-in or whatever.
But dude, like now that you're talking about
Not often
feminization-
enough. Yeah,
it's not
You know
enough.
what? Now that brings up a good point. You know, now maybe if you hadn't dropped all these other genres, they wouldn't all be invading the male-dominated genre.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe
That's very
maybe if
true.
you allowed romance comics and all these female things to prosper, maybe we would actually be able to say, hey, these are the ones for boys. That's okay. The girls have ones. But because we dropped all the girl ones, now they're invading the male ones, and it's a problem. Now, here's the thing. There have always been women that are prominent in comics, right? But like look at Claremont's X-Men run, all right? He was always side by side with Louise Simonson and Nocenti. His colorist was mostly Glennis Oliver the whole time. Well, Glennis Oliver Ween, right? We had so many women in comics. Always have. What was it? Like Jeanette Kahn. Like you had Christy. A lot of female colorists I noticed when you really look at it. Christy Shield did like Daredevil Born Again, right? Like you have so many. But the thing is, they were still telling stories in a typically male-dominated genre, which is fine, right? But there were always comics that were more geared toward women until there weren't. And when that happened, isn't it convenient that that's when it was almost like it's inevitably going to shift? And I think that what we need to do is realize some things are going to be for men, some are going to be for women, and that's fine. What we don't need to do is it's weird because there can be some blending, right? But it's like, for example, the X-Men making the main line about a fashion show, like, is probably not gonna help, because people will look at the covers like, oh yes, but they're not gonna read the story. I didn't read the story. I sure as hell didn't. I stopped reading before that, to be fair. Like the moment that Wolverine and Cyclops were like holding each other, I was like, yeah, bye. But you know, it's a weird time. And here's the thing: experimentation is going to lead to good things. The problem is when you're experimenting in continuity, and now we have to deal with the ramifications. If we were just like dealing with the new IPs,
this is experimentation with an agenda. I think that is the problem.
Yeah.
They don't aim to entertain. Like if the experimentation is sincere, then go for it. But if you're trying to feminize men, because you feel bad in an alley, I just say don't ever get out of the U.S. because that's the world. The world is an alley.
Well,
and it's also when you experiment in continuity. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no,
but
for
example, Wolverine and Cyclops are cuckolds forever now, canonically. You can't go back. You can't go back. So it's like, you experimented and maybe it didn't work out, right? Or like maybe, okay, this character who's been like straight for 60 years is now gay. Well, okay, say you decide to go back. Well, now we have to deal with the continuity. So when you're experimenting with established characters, you have to be careful. If you're experimenting, if you create a new character that's like, oh, we're going to have this character do whatever, I don't know, feminine thing, that's fine. But I think that's the issue we're running into, is they're trying to change things.
Let's look at the business side of things, right? The reason why they stopped making all these other comics is because they felt like the sales were more dominated. The superheroes really brought in a lot of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was, Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, they wrote to a specific genre, specific demographic, and they did a great job. And it brought people in. People started buying those comic books. And it started to switch a little bit. Now we're in a place where, because the sales were better there, they dropped the kind of titles that weren't doing as well. And every time they try to bring them back, retailers won't take a chance on them. Distributors won't take a chance on them. And so publishers, if they don't sell right away, they won't take a chance on them. But if we're going to bring back kids and we're going to bring back demographics for women and stuff like that, in comic books, somebody's going to have to buckle down and say, look, we're going to lose money on this probably for a while, because they're thinking about the short-term profit instead of the long-term impact it's going to have on the market.
Right.
And somebody's got to buckle down and say, you know what, we're going to offset the cost of this kid comic, and we're going to make sure it's out every month, even if it doesn't sell, because eventually it will catch on. It's what we do as independents with our own IPs. We know that it's going to be a grind, and we're not going to make money probably for 5 or 6 issues until this thing catches on. And sometimes longer, because you have to really work.
Sometimes never. And that's the thing. Like, you run the risk. You know what I mean? Like, you have to. And that's the thing. Money is great. We need to make this viable. But if you don't love this,
but giving it 2 or 3 issues is not going to do it. That's not enough time to determine if a new kids comic, because you've got to retrain an entire market. You've got to let people know, and just putting it on the shelf in the comic shop doesn't mean that demographic is going to know to go there to look for it.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, that's the thing too. I've been into superheroes since I was a kid. It's funny going back. I've been watching the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, which are part of what got me here, right? That was in a theater. That was just on TV when you would see that. Kids, I've talked about this. I mean, I think everyone's talked about this. Don't know to go into a comic shop. I didn't go in until I was in 6th grade. So I'd been a superhero fan for like a long time at that point. The problem is that people don't know where to look. So no kid is going to just walk into a comic shop without a parent holding their hand who's already invested. So I think the problem is the marketing needs to change too. You need to get these in places where kids actually are. Hell, get them in a candy store or something. I don't know.
Right. So I went into I've been into comics for a long time, but I didn't go to comic book shops until I was a teenager. And it was when I found the X-Men cartoon, the TV show, that I started making it to the comic shop every week. And what was really interesting was I liked that show. So I came in and the guy at the counter said, oh, well, you want to start here back in 1970, 1980, something, right? And go up through the 90s to get this storyline. And so I got there so I can read what was happening in the show. And then he's like, now this is what's happening now. And so it got me into the stories, and I had so much. There was something available. The characters were there. The characters in the books that they're producing right now were still the characters that I saw on the screen. And that's the other problem, is when you do introduce someone to one of these characters through a movie or a TV show or a cartoon. When you go to the shop, the publishers they're not cross-marketing themselves. It's like they're trying to do everything they can to fail. It's like you're getting. I'm not going to use that analogy. That's cruel. I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to do it. But you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying.
What the companies want right now is to make money right now, and nobody cares about the long term.
Yes, it's the most short-sighted industry.
But that's the thing. The motivation is only money, and that's the thing. Like, to be successful in this industry, you need the longevity, you need the legs, and you only people who love this medium can do that. So money's the motivation, but you gotta love making comics. If
we point the finger also at, and this is a great segue. We point the finger at the corporate comics, but creator-owned comics, it's got the same issue here, guys. Yeah. Because we live in a super chat world, you're going to do whatever it takes to grab that super chat now, right?
It's not going to help you in the long term.
Yeah. People used to do draw streams and educational streams. They don't draw as big a crowd. This kind of show doesn't draw as big a crowd as these big drama streams do, right? Where people are calling each other. It doesn't work that way. This is a slow burn. It takes a while to do that, and you have to be consistent with it. And you have to say, no, this is what we're creating, and this is what we're going to do.
They're killing the long term.
They're killing longevity. And so we're getting late, and we all have late for whatever reason. But here's a comic book shop owner, Ralph DiBernardo of Jetpack Comics, located in Rochester, New Hampshire, shares his frustration on street release dates being ignored and the lack of consequences. Navigating the world of small business is tough. Trying to compete with Walmart, Amazon, and all the internet deep discounts is a challenge, to say the least. When your sister small businesses break the rules, it's frustrating, deceitful, and morally questionable. The release date for product is called street date. That is, the date product is supposed to go on sale. Street dates exist for books, comic books, video games, toys, games, and more. Street dates exist to put all businesses on a level playing field. It allows the manufacturer to provide distribution to all retailers and prevents one retailer from putting the product in a customer's hands ahead of another business. The more popular a product, the harder street dates is to enforce. The harder the street date is enforced. When a new Harry Potter book would come out, retailers had to sign an affidavit promising not to open the boxes before street date or face lawsuits. Now, here's funny. I actually worked for Best Buy for a while, and there were street dates, do not opens, right? Or do not place on the floor. So we would get everything open and ready, but it could not make it to the floor. And we had a salesman once come back and grab something because we had it and sell it before the street date. And man, I'm telling you, they got rode up. They got rode up because we could have gotten impacted as a business. Thankfully, nothing happened. But these companies take the street date very, very seriously.
And it makes sense. It makes sense. Good.
Yeah. Star Wars toys used to have some of the most serious street date rules. Street date is important because it prevents one business from having an early in-hand selling advantage over another. He already said that. To support small business and help them survive against the mega corps, some of the top selling games companies give small businesses a week or more ahead start on selling product. It's a very effective sales tool. In exchange,
I love the fact it's like mega corps, like it's like a
right.
Like a bunch of robots coming your way. Oh
no! I might skip a little bit of this. So it says businesses like Jetpack Comics get the special early street date for providing a service that ultimately benefits manufacturer. They have special game weeks. Manufacturers know that people want that new product as soon as they can get it. In the case of many card games, tournament plays is the cornerstone of their product. This sanctioned early release encourages more stores to provide in-store play, bolstering the game and helping to shore up the small business. This all sounds like another boring Ralph diatribe. Yes, it does. Thanks for that useless education, Ralph. I'm getting there. Before COVID, street dates were taken seriously. One major distributor actually paid a company to shop their accounts and verify that street dates were not broken. We know this was effective as we received dozens of reports on Jetpack over the years from these companies showing that we had not broken street dates. The company would send an adorable old person into our store the day before a product would release, and they would tell a sob story about how they needed an item for a relative but could not come back the next day. And they were quite compelling stories, but not once did we break street date. Both Rich Brunell and I, Rich Brunell 3 and I have always had the same stance. We would not break street dates for our mother. We won't even ship product until the day before release to ensure it doesn't arrive until release date. We take it seriously. 2 years ago, we learned to shop breaking street date by several days on comic books a few towns away. Guys, what are your thoughts on the street dates thing? What's your thoughts?
I think he wants one rule for one and one rule for another. He's talking about small businesses getting the street date earlier than a megacorp.
Yeah.
But it's like,
when did Russ get in here?
Huh? I just turned up.
Russ just slid right on in.
Sorry,
they call him the comic black belt for no.
You didn't see the smoke.
I just zipped in, to go
ninja.
back to what we were talking about earlier, it's not about money. Because if it was about money, they'd write good stories. I'm sorry, it isn't about money. Okay, the corporate comics in the main, Marvel, DC, that's what we're talking about. Okay, if it was about money, IDW wouldn't be about to fall over. Okay, You've got Marvel and Disney, Marvel and DC. They are both owned by mega corporates who give no craps about comics because they don't make enough money. What you need is you actually need a sort of a dark horse size company to be the biggest company in comics, because they would worry about making millions or hundreds of thousands and not billions. Okay, that's why these people are involved. That you've allowed the interns to take over the asylum.
Yeah.
And if it was about money, if it really was about providing good product and getting stuff out there and people buying good material, it would be done by now.
Yeah, you have the resources to do it.
Yeah, but the thing is, like Russ, it's why I say it's about money. It's because they're not looking at sales. They're looking at investment money,
Exactly.
which was the drive for like almost 10 years, and that's dried
But it's
up.
all dried up. It's
dried up.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
Exactly.
That's exactly
so now
it.
We're looking at the death of that model.
But we're looking at the death, because if you look at the big corporates who are film studios as well, they're finding that Hollywood is collapsing. Because they're just not providing decent entertainment for anyone, and they're not allowing diversity of ideas and opinions, and it's collapsing in on itself.
Dude, I'll tell you this, like, I've been hearing nothing but good things about X-Men 97, right? I've been really excited for it, and I had canceled my Disney Plus when they went after my girl Gina, and I'm about to, but considering, I was like, oh, I'm about to go back, and you know what, just for this, I'll watch the show.
Don't do it, not for one
Look,
program.
I got like
hold on.
45
Let me
packages I
Let
need
me
to
finish.
open.
Let me finish. And I'm about to, and literally I had written it down. Okay, today I will consider doing it. I hadn't fully decided, but I was about to. Then they doubled down on what they did to Gina. If they had just kept their mouth shut,
you'd have been back.
then I'm like,
they'd have had the Vaughn. They'd have had Vaughn.
But look at
I am a huge X-Men fan. Look at all this right here. Got a
But look at
box
what they've just dropped with Deadpool and Wolverine. Now that does actually look quite good.
Looks quite good.
But it's not going to save the MCU.
No,
It's
but
not
you know
gonna
why
save
it looks
Disney.
good? You know why it looks good?
Because Ryan Reynolds
Ryan
is in
Reynolds,
control, not Disney.
it's Ryan Reynolds. Ryan
But
Reynolds.
look at what they're doing to Warhammer at the moment. Okay.
Yeah.
What did they do to Warhammer?
There were already female characters in Warhammer. The problem is with the whole female thing we were talking about with comics earlier. It's this everybody must have everything.
Yeah.
Why can't you have an audience? Why is it not okay to have a male space? Why is it not okay to have a male orientated pastime? Just like you have female ones. You don't have to have all of them in at the same time.
You can have a man cave and a she shed. It's okay.
Exactly.
It's okay.
My sister
this
and I
might be
like that she shed.
Yeah, this might be unpopular though, but the thing is, like, I am loyal to the people who are loyal to me, so I wouldn't do that to an independent creator. But these corporations, I owe them nothing. You know what a concertina? You know what a concertina is?
No, what's that?
It's the primordial instrument in pirate music. So when I see that, I just like, get it.
Oh, look.
Screw those guys.
So I have 45 unopened packages from Fund My Comic campaigns that have come to me. And before I pay for Disney Plus to watch X-Men 97, I'm reading those books.
Yeah, I'm in.
So that could be, at this rate, that's going to be years. Because I'm so busy, I barely get a chance to read.
Yeah, that's the thing. I just I have so many crowdfunded books. I used to read them all right away, and then I let one slide, and then that led to I don't even know where I'm at right now with the books I have to read. And so I have so many else to read, and that's the good thing. Now we just got to get more people into the alternatives.
Yeah.
And it's like. It's a thing. But another thing I will say is you want to make sure that you're in the conversation. Now, here's the thing: I would if someone wants to lend me their Disney Plus.
Right? Yeah. If you want
but I'm not giving it. But it's like
you want to send that password on over to me. Yeah.
The trouble is with the comic book industry and the publishing industry is it's much like the mass media industry, in that it's not enough that they say go and make your own. So you have alternative media, alternative news sites. No. What they've got to do is they've got to destroy those alternative news sites.
Right.
And it's the same. It's unfortunately it's the same with independent comics. It's not enough to say, well, if you don't like corporate comics, go make your own. But we don't get a look in. It's very difficult to get anywhere into that market because they don't want us in there because we'll embarrass them with the quality of our books.
It's that, and it's also they want to get you in your own, so that way you'll be a smaller target over here. Then they can crush you more easily. If you're within the company, they weed you out, then they target you.
Yeah.
It's all deliberate.
But all you can do is exactly what be positive. exactly what Randy says and what Luke was saying earlier is be positive, make things, make it happen, get that stuff out there as much as you can.
And the thing is that we can't
do it.
Yep. and that's the thing, like you can't measure your success in the kind of money they are making because we don't have the overhead they have. I mean, to me, success is able to buy groceries and buy new access to chop wood.
Yeah.
And I don't need billions of dollars to do that. Yeah, me too, man. This isn't
for me. Hobby. Success is being able to sleep at night, not worried about where the next dollar is coming from.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, dude, if I made 10,000 people happy with my books, I'm living the life.
Yeah,
that's all I need, and
guys,
that's my goal.
Jeffrey Verej passed away April 1st. I'm sorry, April 12th of a heart attack.
Oh,
yeah. He had a heart attack and he passed away. A great comic book artist from the Salish, I believe I'm saying that right, tribe.
Yeah.
He's a member of the Port Gamble Scalum tribe, Native American, and brought Native American culture to comic books. Not the only one to do it, but he was a prominent figure in doing that. And he passed away, and we won't go through his entire bio, but yeah, he had a very interesting style that is reminiscent of his culture, and just really worked well when meshed with the techniques and styles of comic book art. And I really, there was a day when everything, all the comics always looked alike, and they're still kind of that way. There's that, like, they all have to look just like this, and you can't tell one artist from the next. But man, when I can look at someone's art and say, "Oh, I know who that is," that's special to me. And he was one of those people. And
but that's the thing. Like, having a distinctive style in itself, it's a blessing and a curse. Because like sometimes finding jobs, it's really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, this is interesting. Comics Pro, the Comics Professional Retail Organization, released the retail survey results. Comics retail organization Comics Pro has released the results of its first general retail survey, sharing aggregated anonymous information on who retailers are, what they sell, and their challenges. The survey was conducted over 6 weeks, ending in late January of 2024. Although the survey was conducted by Comics Pro, 2/3 of the 356 respondents were not members. The survey was publicized by distributors, publishers, and others to reach a larger pool. As a result of the high number of responses and the range of retailers who responded, we are confident that this survey presents a realistic snapshot of the industry as a whole. Outreach Director and Vice President of the Board of Comics Pro, Jen Haynes, said of the results. And I'll be honest, so 300 and what'd they say that was? 356. I would venture to say that's probably about a third of the actual active comic book shops in America.
Mm-hmm.
There used to be 3,000, 4,000. I think there's about 900 to 1,000 shops that are still not internet based, but shops, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because a lot of them have gone strictly online, and they do pull lists for their customers through online orders.
Wow.
I know of one that's what they did before, and now they share space at a sports memorabilia collectible place, and they've got a little corner where you can actually go in and buy comics. But they primarily do all of their pull list is you register on their website and you become a pull list customer, and they ship them out.
Is it coming down to that? Like, you have to share your comic book space with a salami shop?
I was thinking exactly the same thing, Pedro. That just sounded like a really sad story.
It is a sad story. But that's a common thing now. That's why a lot of these comic shops have moved on to games and collectibles. That's why they're having tournaments. They're focusing on salami,
though.
No, nothing at all. So the results reported fell into 4 categories. We report them here verbatim. Comic book stores tend to be small, family-owned, independent businesses. 88% of retailers work in their store full-time. 81% of the retailers have single storefronts, and 30% of the stores reported that they have no employees.
They can't afford.
What? Wow.
Over 1/3 of
30%.
Over 1/3 of the retailers report that they have children at home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only
There
1/3.
you go. There's the workforce. Children.
That's one that I don't get it. Like, yeah, so they have children. So what? Like, but this, I don't know.
The vast majority of comic store retailers identify as Caucasian and male.
How dare they?
10% of retailers identify
Shocking.
as people of color, and 11% of comic retailers identify as female or non-binary. 10% of retailers identify.
All right,
as
let's get that
LGBTQ+.
non-binary percentage specifically. It's got to
Yeah.
be what, 0.002?
0.002.
What I want to know is, why are those percentages even in there?
Exactly.
Why should I care what these
Yeah, I
people are as far as their color or their
Right.
gender or whatever?
Yeah.
This has no reflection on
It's a
what's
non-factor.
going on here.
Yeah, it's a non-factor for me.
Yeah, like they're selling me a comic. We're not getting together in a jacuzzi. So why?
38% of comic shop retailers are between the ages of 30 and 49, while 47% are over the age of 50.
Oh,
Higher.
people.
40,
Yeah.
47%.
47%.
Oh,
That
I'm
means
only
that-
38%. I'm fine.
That
Yeah.
means that comic shop owners are slowly aging out.
They're aging
Yeah.
out, guys.
And it's also, you got to think of it too. And this is, look, I want to support my local comic shops, but it's like, if I'm being honest, like, there's not that much that I'm interested when I go in there. All right, so I want to get the new Madripoor Nights issue, right? Which is if anything a continuation of an old series. But in terms of the new stuff on the shelf, it's like, if they had, and this is why I would love to get my books in stores, dude. I mean, but it's you also, obviously, I'm sure we've all done the numbers. If I knew that I could sell my books in stores and make a profit, but even still, just getting them out there, honestly, is like we talk about longevity. I'm okay taking the cut. That's why I have a discounted retailer tier. But it's like, I go into comic stores and I would try indie titles for a while, and they weren't grabbing me the way that I wish they were. And I think that really it comes down a lot of ways to the content. People just, there would be times, I think even your boy Zach had talked about this in a video. People go into comic shops as like a habit, like I would in college. If there wasn't anything I was just interested in, back issues. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
oh, I don't own this one yet, but eventually that might not be enough anymore. And what's happening is we're getting, I think we really are having people age out. And it's sad because it's like, I know I'm not necessarily, even when I make this comic, contributing, but it's up to the retailers. I remember asking a retailer, I drove around and was handing these out to like every comic shop around me. I took like a whole day and was driving hour, like everywhere around me to get to them. And I'd ask with one guy, would you be willing to carry them here? And he was like, probably not. And I said, why? And he goes, because then we'd be pitching your book for you. So we don't carry crowdfunded books. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, that's it. I just hope that guy's business, like they're worked out. I appreciate the honesty. But it's like, I feel like there's no faith in people to just discover things themselves.
Yeah.
No, there isn't. It's the worst. But,
So 47, this is almost half the retailers surveyed. 47% have been in business 21 years or more. Just so happens that's the same percentage as the 50 and older. 54% of retailers reported gross sales of $300,000 or less in 2023, while only 18% of retailers reported gross sales of over $1 million. Overall sales were down in 2023. The majority of comic shops, 69%, reported lower gross sales in 2023 than in 2022. A bright spot, however, is that 22% of the stores reported higher sales in 2023 than in 2022. When comparing 2023 sales to 2019, pre-pandemic, fewer stores experienced a sales decline. 54% of comic book stores reported lower gross sales in 2023 than in 2019. So pre-pandemic, they've gone down. Sales of new comics were down in 73% of comic shops in 2023 versus 2022, while graphic novel sales were down in 65% of comic shops, with a decline of between 1 and 50% reported. Wow. Let's narrow that down a little bit, shall we? Product lines. The three main products that comic stores sell are new comics, graphic novels, and back issue comics. On average, new comics account for 38% of store sales, back issues account for 16%, and graphic novels account for 18%. Diversification of products has become the norm. Most comic stores sell non-comic products. Over 80% sell toys. Over 60% sell card games. And over 50% sell board games and role-playing games. Other items mentioned by over a third of stores are stuffed animals, apparel, packaged foods, and drinks, and prose books even. The majority of sales occur inside retail stores, but stores are also looking for sales outside of their four walls. 31% of retailers sell directly to schools and libraries. 29% sell at comic conventions, and 69% sell via mail order online sales. Almost all stores, 97% of the respondents, offer comic subscription services at their stores. 57% of the stores offer discounts on their new comics, while 39% of the stores have a rewards program. As far as operations goes, almost 80% of comics retailers operate using a point-of-sale system. The most common system are Comic Suite, RMH, Comics Hub, Square, and Shopify. 61% of stores spend money on advertising, with the majority of that expenditure happening on social media, especially Facebook. When asked to rank a variety of different factors that are important to the success of their business, retailers rated the shipping costs from distributors and incentives such as returnability and extra discounts as most important. When asked to rank different issues that retailers feel impact their business in a negative manner, the overwhelming response was being required to place final orders on an issue 2 number of a series before issue 1 has come out. Overwhelmingly. We've talked about that here already. Haynes summarized some key takeaways. While it's clear that the majority of the comics industry is experiencing financial strain, retailers seem to agree that their experience of that struggle would be mitigated through more coherent and consistent product data, reduced shipping rates, a continuation of purchasing risk to be shared by the publisher, and the ability to gather effective sales data on issue number 1 of a series before having to finalize order numbers for issue number 2. She said, retailers are compensating for these struggles by diversifying their product mix with toys and games, as well as diversifying their sales channels by selling at conventions, to schools, libraries, and online. Comics Pro board president Joe Murray noted long-term benefits of the survey and thanked those that participated. The success of this survey helps us establish a baseline to accurately track changes in comic retailing going forward, he said. While it didn't reveal any simple solutions, it highlighted the importance of diversity in both products stores carry to weather downturns, and a need for diversity in staffing so different voices can help us reach wider and newer audiences. Look, they can't afford more staffing. See, we had this thing that happened in the Church of God, the group that I'm a part of, Church of God Anderson, where they're going around and surveying these churches, and they're like, we don't have a lot of women or black pastors. We need to have more. Well, it's a small church in a small community where, like, who are they? They can't afford to hire someone. The only person they have on staff is a guy that's been there for years. What, you saying to fire the guy that's been faithfully serving that church for 2 decades just so that they can hire someone that's more diverse? Come on, you don't do that. This is not an industry. This is a ministry, right?
That's
look,
exactly it. What you just described there is going on everywhere.
It's going on everywhere, right? And these shop owners, they're the only person there. They own it. It's a family business. You're telling this family business that your family's not diverse enough?
Not diverse enough. All right, guys. Mary, you gotta be like, honey, Mary, I gotta get a more diverse wife. I'm sorry.
You gotta pull an Angelina
Our kids
Jolie.
are too white.
You got to pull an Angelina Jolie and go adopt some African.
Go adopt some African kids.
I mean,
in your shop.
This conversation, like it's angling in my favor a little bit. Like I can make a business of going into towns and diversify them a bit.
You can help me
come and stay
Yeah,
with you.
Pedro, isn't that empowering though for you to?
Yeah, exactly. I go to a town like, lend me your wife. I'm gonna diversify her.
Well, he's diversified.
No,
this
Pedro,
panel.
they're like, hey, do you want Pedro your resume? It's like, here's all my talent. No need. I see your skin color. You're hired.
Yeah, exactly. and that's why I don't apply. That's why I don't apply to any of that.
But look at the report we've just read. It's like they had to stick that bit in at the end. There was nothing about the fact that the content of the comics are mostly trash now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, that
that's
was
why they're not
weirdly
selling any.
absent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't care about that. That doesn't
The
advance their
customer
agenda.
does, and that's kind of important to maintaining a business.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm telling you, I don't care who I'm buying from. Like I said, it could be.
No.
I don't care who I'm buying. So Claremont fills in Uncanny X-Men plot holes in Wolverine deep cut. So they're plot holes, and they had to bring in the master to fill that
What are
in.
the plot holes? Because I've read these issues between.
Marvel Comics has announced a new retro Wolverine miniseries by longtime X-Men writer Chris Claremont and artist Edgar Salazar that will fill in a bit of missing continuity from 1990s Wolverine briefly disappearing from Uncanny X-Men in issue 246 and returning in 251 when the battle with the Reavers began. During this time, the X-Men were headquartered in the Australian outback, and the new 4-issue miniseries depicts the secret mission that took Wolverine away from his companions. The first issue will go on sale on July 3rd of 2024 with the cover by Philip Tan. One of the amazing things about Chris Claremont's work is how rich and multi-layered his X-Men stories have always been.
Sorry, that cover, before we zoom off it just looks like Wolverine's been turned into some kind of jet plane.
Yeah.
And he's eaten some really hot tacos.
Yeah,
and
he's
now
eating some bad Thai food.
Yeah.
Before we continue with the article, I want to say this is weird because I'm so a huge Claremont fan. I've been reading this run. That gap is filled. I don't know if Chris is choosing to ignore that story because it wasn't written by him. Because in Madripoor Nights, it didn't really reference it, but that gap, it's a story by Archie Goodwin, John Byrne with inks by Klaus Janson. It's 17 issues 17 through 23. You see Wolverine leave right in issue 246, and he goes, "I'm on a mission." But then that mission is depicted in the Wolverine miniseries, and then when he comes literally to the point. We're at the end of that storyline, issue 23. It ends with him making his way back to Australia where he gets beaten up. So I'm confused what the gap is that they're filling because I thought it was explained. But let's hear it.
Apparently they're rewriting it. So.
Oh, okay.
There you go. After 21 years in business, Earth 2 Comics of Sherman Oaks, California, is closing its brick and mortar operation. Ricardo D'Angelo announced on the store's Facebook, but it will continue to do online sales. There it goes again, guys.
Pattern.
eBay and live sales via Whatnot and Facebook. Dude, getting rid of the brick and mortar.
It's sad because I prefer going in person, even though it's more convenient. Like I like being able to walk around the store. Oh, there's someone else I could talk to.
There's a culture in that, man.
It's sad. It's sad. I feel like my generation's not. I want fans to be able to. Hey, I love hearing people talk about their reaction when they were in the comic. It's the same reason I love hearing my mom talk about what she saw Jaws in the theater. And I'm afraid we're losing that part of history. I'm sorry. Look, I love saying, "Oh, I was there. I backed that day one." It's cool. It really is. But going out and meeting people is just different.
I want to be in the same physical space as people that's into the same thing I'm into. It's why I go to church. It's why I go to conventions. It's why I go to the comic book shops. It's why I like going to music stores. And I mean, it's yeah.
I don't know. Watching Vaughn is giving me a little bit of the feels, man, because I totally understand your position. Like, I come from a time where, I played in bands my whole life, so I know a lot of people. But I do see kids. Like, how old are you, Vaughn? Sorry, I don't.
I'm 24.
Exactly.
Oh, I should have had you ask. I should have done the whole. How old do you think I am?
Yeah, exactly. 24. You just said that, and I would ask Luke to kick you. No, but
you had some weirdo on the internet saying,
"Yeah,
like yesterday you said you were 21."
Yeah, that was the weirdest thing. Someone said that I lied about my. Why would I lie about my age when I'm 24?
Dude, when they started going off about your dad, I got pissed.
That was fun.
Wow.
Because nothing they said was. They also said, "Vaughn, you've never made a film. Literally, go to my YouTube channel. It's like my third most recent video is a short film I made."
Oh, cool.
But they were like, "You've never done it. Look at my IMDb." They're like, Vaughn's never been paid to work on a movie. I actually have been a production assistant on 2 feature-length films. Go fuck yourself. Nice. Sorry, I don't know.
But what I wanted to say is, like, I see that craving when I play live.
How
like,
dare you?
Like, I see kids who are like like 25, 20, 21, you know, like they don't have that sense of community. Like, dude, I want to make a band, but I don't know anyone.
They don't have any sense, period.
Dude, I want to. I'm, you know, so I'm 40. I'll be 44. I'll be 44 in a couple of weeks.
You young squire.
Oh, today's my sister's birthday.
Yeah.
What's your happy birthday?
Hey, happy birthday,
Mrs. Annie. I just realized what day it was. So the 5th is my birthday. I'll be 44, man.
Wow.
May 5th, and I want to find a drummer, somebody play some percussion. I want to grab my dulcimer. I just want to do some songs, man.
Yeah.
I went to open mic night last night and sang a couple songs.
Nice.
Finally getting my voice back enough to do that. I did a song by C6 Steve called I Started Out With Nothing. The choruses started out with nothing. I still got most of it left. And then I did Hurt, Johnny Cash's version of Hurt. I did that last night. And then
dude, like my
just played along with
hardcore
everybody
band.
else.
Yeah, my hardcore band celebrated its 27th year this Saturday, and we went playing, dude. A young crowd listening.
There you go,
And
man. That's
it
awesome,
was cool,
dude.
man. It was cool. But the thing is, like, yeah, like we are grandfathers entertaining kids.
Right.
You
Well,
know what I mean?
You know, I talked about C6 Steve now a couple times.
Yeah.
But I was looking, his crowd is mostly college students.
Yeah, exactly.
They're college students. People get it. They don't care how old this guy is. They care about how much fun they're having. Listening to, okay, Randy, you're going to have to take over. On the reading stuff. That was it. That's
All right. They're more concerned about the fun they're having. You said Chuck Rosansky, owner of Mile High Comics in Denver, Colorado, was injured in a traffic accident in Vail Pass on April 15th, according to the store newsletter. Rosansky, a longtime retailer, broke his left ulna, radius, and wrist, and also suffered a compression fracture of his L1 vertebrae.
Oh, man.
Dude, that sounds painful.
That
man.
is rough and painful.
Let's be praying for him.
The store will update his condition in upcoming newsletters. This one might be interesting, or interesting to me.
All right.
2 Michigan truck drivers have been charged with robbing comic collection in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, and severely beating the owner, Dave Schwartz,
dude,
in September 2022, according to Philly Burbs Zachary Maximus. According to Philly Burbs, Zachary Maximus Tucker, 22, was arraigned on April 15th on charges that included battery, aggravated assault, and unlawful restraint, and is being held on $300,000 bail.
Okay, wait a minute. Who names his child Zachary Maximus Tucker? Like, unless you want him to be a gladiator or something.
Yeah, maybe you do.
Yeah,
you do.
Well, didn't that Gladiator movie come out about 20-some years ago?
Yeah.
Probably.
That's probably
Oh, you think it was that?
About right.
Russell
Yeah.
Crowe's character.
That
My
is
name is
300.
Maximus Decimus
I
Meridius.
am Gladiator.
Yeah.
But Caleb James Lorenz Simpson,
Wow.
35, who is also charged, is currently in custody in Michigan and will be extradited to Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
It's this Dave Schwartz. Dave Schwartz. Is that anybody know? No.
No. Dave Schwartz?
I gotta look that up.
I know the Shorts.
I might know that guy. That's why I thought it was interesting. Anyway, I hadn't heard anything about him being attacked though. When a masked man came into the Colton, California game store into the Retroverse, employees tackled him. But when he pulled a gun, they had to back off.
Of course.
The robber then filled his bag with merchandise and escaped with about $3,000 to $5,000 worth of Pokemon cards.
What?
Wait.
The nerdiest.
Wait.
The nerdiest pickup ever.
Stop it. Wait, what?
You have to bring back
dude-
Shane, man.
He
The
did
dude-
this.
Pulled a gun and robbed
Pokemon cards.
Pokemon. What the?
This has got to be a movie, dude.
Yeah, dude. You know what? I would have told that guy, like, you know what, dude? Shoot me. Please.
I want to
shoot
watch
me.
that heist movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
all
yeah.
right. Listen, I'll write that script.
The Hunt for Pokemon.
You write
Yeah,
it, I'll draw it.
Quite a few
yeah.
few years ago, we had a local comic shop
So we'll have
owner.
to come up with something instead of Pokemon because they're very litigious. Look,
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Pokemans.
Pokemon.
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 Quite a few years ago, we had a local comic shop owner get murdered over a half a box.
Gotta rob them all.
Half a box of comics.
You gotta rub them all.
That he had sitting in his basement.
Billy Bass.
Oh, you can use
But the half a box they were all key issues, and at the time at the time it was probably maybe $200,000 worth of books. Nowadays it'd be in the millions. Of the books
these people coming in with a gun trying to take a life over
Pokemon cards. Sad little Pokemon cards.
Did they at least get any good ones? I mean, not justifying their actions in any way.
Yeah, like that will make it better. Like I don't know, man. Like I'm thinking about the script. Like maybe you can do like
a Pidgey.
Yeah, you can make it like the Mexican.
Hey, check this out. It's the third time the store's been robbed since it opened 7 months ago.
What the hell?
Yeah.
What neighborhood are you in?
Yeah, is this a money laundering front?
That's got to be a rough neighborhood. Colton, California.
Gotta be cool.
Oh, but that's the thing. Like, well, he did take over $900, so they did jail time.
It might be close to Oakland.
What
or San
state is this
Francisco
again?
California.
Colton,
Okay,
California.
that makes sense.
So the burglar who threw a rock through the front door of
meanwhile in Michigan.
Inc.
Yeah, in Jackson,
Michigan.
Didn't fare as well. Store employee Joshua Kelly told Fox 47 News that the man appeared to be disoriented. Grabbed a few things before leaving with some free comics.
A guy who pulled a
mystery
gun?
bundles and comic books.
No, this is another case.
Color me shocked. The guy who pulls a gun and robs a comic store might be a little disoriented. What
bro.
No, this is a different guy. This is a different guy.
Another
guy that threw a rock.
This is in Michigan.
Another case. Yeah.
Here's another
Michigan.
one. Here's another one. These are all
comic shops are being targeted, guys.
Here's a happy note.
Okay,
Somebody likes their job. Let's wind this up on a happier note. I'm doing something I love, so I wake up every day with a smile on my face. Mike Gladney told I almost said Shartland. Startland News. Shartland.
Shartland News.
Gladney and his
find
wife
something here.
Vania own Comic Coffee House of Olathe, Kansas, a store that brings together their mutual interests by offering both comics and comic-themed coffee drinks, such as Poison Ivy, Honey Lavender, Matcha, and Groot, while white chocolate and brown sugar latte. I need to get the Crack-a-Boom coffee going this year, as well as a video game corner, regular game, and trivia nights, and pop-ups for local comic artists. That does sound like fun. Pop-ups does.
Dude, I will be canceled out of this coffee shop in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Give me some coffee. Give me some comics. Sounds like my kind of place.
Dude, I want to write this. I want to write this story.
Oh, the Pokemon heist? Yeah. You know what?
Yay! Think about what you've accomplished.
Do you know what pulque is?
What have I accomplished? Oh, because I came up with an idea?
Yeah, but you know what pulque is?
What?
Pulque.
The music?
No.
No. Pulque is a drink made out of like what they do tequila with, but it's basically like slime that will get you drunk. So you can do like the Mexican version of Pokemon called Pulquemon. So it's like a highly addictive card, and it's like
Pokemon.
Dude.
All right, let's do it.
What a story, Mark.
Dude, I interviewed one of the actors in the room on my channel. I'm trying to get the whole cast.
Nice.
But I had the guy, you know the part in the, have you guys seen The Room in its entirety?
Yeah. Not entirely.
All right, you know the part where the guy pulls the gun on the one scene, he pulls the gun. I interviewed that actor on my show.
Nice.
He was really fun. He got me in contact with someone else in the room. I've been so busy with my comic, I got to get back in. But I'm trying to get the whole cast one by one on my show.
Gail Simone.
Speaking of getting back in.
Nice. Ugh.
Gail Simone on Superman with Eddie Barrows. Backups of Rainbow Rowell and Cian Tormey.
This name's made up.
Well, yes, but anyway, Rainbow Rowell. Yeah.
Thank God it's only 3 issues. Gail Simone will write a 3-issue Superman arc with art by Eddie Barrows.
I hope they got that.
Annie, Mickey, and Rex Locust. Why is it 3 different artists? 4 different artists for 3 issues? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Everybody, when you spread the pain out, it's not quite as bad.
Got to spread the jobs around, don't you?
That too.
Yeah. Superman and the Challenge from the Stars begins early in Superman's public career when a powerful alien race comes to Earth and Superman must stand alone against challenges all around the world. See, here's what I don't like. She's writing a story about Superman's early career. So what is what in canon is she going to mess up?
Yeah, she's gonna wreck on
Anything
everything.
they can.
Yeah.
I just don't trust her to handle the material properly.
Which version of Superman is this too? Because I see that that emblem on his chest is like Golden Age Superman. So is he?
Yeah, it's supposed to be early in his career. It's like
only going to be leaping tall buildings in a single bound.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it's interesting. I actually kind of enjoyed Gail Simone's Wonder Woman 1, kind of, but like the biggest problem I had with it was there weren't really. And this is, I guess, a Wonder Woman problem in general is her villains are just never like the focus. And I'm like, like it would be every arc would be a new villain that would probably get killed by the end of the arc, and I'd be like, okay, so Wonder Woman has no villains,
and she's like,
but I do think she understood the character. That being said, Superman, we'll see.
We'll see,
Randy, that this is an IP renewal.
Oh no, not at all.
No,
it's
not
somebody
old
just
Superman?
playing around with old Superman. Yeah. I don't think they have much to worry about. They've pretty much copywritten every logo that they possibly can at this point. Anyway,
okay.
Hey, we've had a few people drop in since we last welcomed everybody. Welcome Manticore. Welcome Mindy Wheeler. Welcome. We've got RJ William in the house. Welcome. All right, we got Billy Basco in the house. Welcome, Billy.
Got to steal them all. Talking about
Jolly Green has joined us. Welcome, my friend Jolly Green. It's good to have you here today.
What's up?
Philbo Baggins in the house. Welcome, Phil.
Philbo.
Good to have you here. We got Dreaded Dinosaur in the house.
Hey, Rick.
Good to have you here.
Yeah.
We got Coco Shuko Papashango.
There you go.
Welcome.
Shango.
That was awesome.
Shango.
That was awesome.
Shango, yeah.
Chuco Papachango. That's like
Sounds like I'm speaking. You know what? It sounds like I am speaking in tongues over here.
Not really. You know what? That's what they used to do in Mambo songs. Like, hey, so go Chuco Papachango. Come on, like, you know, like
right.
They did that. Yeah. So cool.
Oh, and we got Mad Ruth in the house. Where I lost him. There he is. Got Mad Ruth. Welcome, Mad Ruth. Welcome, Craigie boy. We got Ken B. Welcome, Ken B. It's good to have you here. Who else am I missing? I think that's everybody.
Shouting this about kids and girls comics was a problem. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. Literally.
Sorry.
Yeah. So very good. Yeah. Welcome everybody. Randy, if you can help me keep the comments, I would appreciate that this morning.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've got Gail. She's going to be doing some Superman stuff. And here we go, March 2024. Circana Book Scan, top 20 adult and kid graphic novels. There's always the disclaimer on these, right?
That's true.
New volumes of popular manga series dominated the charts in the top 20 best-selling adult graphic novels, while Dav Pilkey's creations ruled the kids' charts based on Circana. And this is, let me see, are they still using I don't see the normal disclaimer, so they must be looking at a different, not using book scan. So check this out. Here we go. This is for the, apparently this is the adult titles right here. So My Hero Academia, adult. Spy X Family, One Piece. Chainsaw Man, Berserker, One Piece. Solo Leveling, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Last Ronin, Solo Leveling, One Piece, Dragon Ball.
The number 8 book is the first non-manga book.
Right. Yeah, like
actually no. Solo
Tim into the Last Ronin. I was considering getting that. I actually looked at the shelf because I love the Last Ronin, and then I also love the Lost Days Last Ronin series. But I was like, dude, why are we doing? Isn't the Last Ronin the last one? Like, because that's what I was confused.
We just keep doing it. Yeah, it doesn't go away.
I considered getting it, but I was like, didn't we like? Can we at least like wait like a couple years before getting the last?
No, the next arc that'll be out in 3 months will be the last Ronin story.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm like, why are we at a second one already? Can we let it?
The only American publisher on the list in the top 20.
You know why they keep kicking that.
I know, but it's like they're gonna kill because that to me felt like the Dark Knight Returns for Ninja Turtles. And then when I said the Lost Days, I was like, okay, well it's filling in a gap with the story, so I'll let it go. But it's like, no, now there's a sequel. I'm sorry, that's enough. That's enough for me.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like right now,
unless it's really good, because it could be really good. But
like right now, we're watching a fight between Japan and Korea. That's all we're doing right now. We're on the bench,
right?
It's Solo Leveling versus like.
That's
Jujutsu Kaisen.
We have failed. American comics has failed. It is no longer. It's no longer. But we have lost. We have absolutely lost this one.
Yep.
And
Freddy Fazbear's
we just have to
Pizza,
deal.
that guy's based, by the way, Scott Cawthon. And it's almost like if you created a well-liked IP, some people, so there will be people who will attack you, but then there are people who like you will be able to ignore it. Like, I'm sure that, there's a lot of FNAF fans that are like, at this point, I'm so invested, I don't really care. You just don't have to lead with politics.
Yeah, for the kids, look, it's Dave Pilkey, Dogman, Cat Kid, Dogman, Volume 11. Babysitters Club, Arlie Nopra got in there.
20,000 Fleas Under the Sea.
Amulet Volume 9 made it in there. Then another Dogman Volume 9. Five Nights at Freddy. Scott Cawthon made it in there. Dogman again. Dogman 10, Dogman 7.
I remember
Babysitters Club Volume 14.
When they canceled Scott Cawthon, I remember there were memes that were like, this is going to radicalize so many kids.
Right. Dogman.
Takes him till number 12 to not have a Scholastic book or a graphics book. Yeah. Number 12, folks.
Pay attention to what sells, guys.
Big mate. This means war.
Oh, you guys
Andrews McNeil.
Archer, Mindy? That's awesome.
There you go. I mean, that's what it is. Oh, look.
Embracer Group.
A new platform. Something new.
Embracer.
They're going to split the rest into two companies. Asmodee Group and Dark Horse Comics parent Embracer Group has announced plans to spin off Asmodee into a separate publicly traded company and split the remaining assets into two companies. The split into three new companies will be accomplished by distributing shares of tabletop games distributors and publisher Asmodee Group and new company Coffee Stain and Friends to Embracer Group. Shareholders and renaming Embracer Group as Middle Earth Enterprises and Friends.
Dude, Coffee Stain sounds so dirty.
Coffee Stain.
Yeah, it's just like, ugh.
The three entities
call it
separate.
Skidmark. Yeah, just sorry.
Skidmark Comics.
Yeah, Skidmark Comics.
Skidmark Comics. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's already taken.
Yeah, probably.
The three entities will be separate publicly traded companies, enabling each entity to better focus on their respective core strategies and offer more differentiated and distinct equity stories.
What?
There's that word, equity. Distinct equity stories for existing and new shareholders, the company said in a statement announcing the plan. We're all splitting up to do our own shit. That's all.
Guys, no, you know what this is? Okay, Embracer Group has the rights to Lord of the Rings, right? They were behind the Amazon series.
Oh, were they? Oh.
Yeah, Rings of Power.
Yeah.
That series lost its shirt, and now they're scrambling.
Oh,
so yeah.
Well, they're doing a second season, so.
So Dark Horse will remain in the renamed Middle Earth Enterprises and Friends. I wonder if they're part of the And Friends, which will be focused on AAA game development and publishing for PC and console, and hold and manage the Lord of the Rings and Tomb Raider intellectual properties, among many others. So Dark Horse is like really not even their focus. It's like, we got to do something with this publisher, so we'll just stick you over here with the games.
Yeah.
Coffee Stain and Friends will have a dual focus on indie and A/AA premium and free-to-play games for PC, console, and mobile, with a high degree of recurring revenues. And the reason why that's high degree of recurring revenues, because free-to-play also means it's probably going to be in-app purchases, which
Yep.
And if they're focusing on that in this report, then they're not indie games.
No.
The word indie is just been bastardized.
It's a nothing word now.
It's like
Like
a bad.
indie?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is indie? Wait, so what's considered indie? Like, because there's no way like TMNT could be considered indie. So IDW is not
Anymore.
indie. Because I used to be like,
anymore,
oh,
no.
anything indie, and then I'd buy like IDW or Image, and be like, yeah, that's indie. No, it's not.
They're not
anymore.
indie.
Turtles
Nothing-
is
Corporate.
Indie was just basically a catch-all term I used to describe anything that wasn't
Corporate?
Marvel and
corporate
DC. Well, but even then, IDW was corporate now.
They're corporate. They're
Yeah.
not really
Yeah, they're
corporate.
corporate.
I think
Here's the
the
thing,
main
corporate isn't bad, right?
I think
but I
the
would
main
describe
damage-
anything that wasn't Marvel and DC was like indie.
Yeah, and
like,
the main
eh.
damage to the word indie came, I think, probably in the 90s from music.
Image.
Yeah.
So you had indie music, which was a real thing, and then that became mainstream, but carried on using the term indie.
Yeah,
and
it was
applied to comics.
Yeah, the whole indie movement was basically you were in charge of your own career. You were the publicist, you were the producer, you were the manager. You were the one that got to your fans. It was you weren't using a company to do any of that stuff. And then there was companies that sprung up to help indies do that stuff. And so now indies just became corporate for hire, you know.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
I don't know, man. Like
crazy.
I started playing music in the '80s, and to me, indies were musicians who couldn't shred. Were like, yeah, I have a limit in the things I can play, so I have to better be mysterious, and they started listening to the Cure and Bauhaus and Siouxsie and the Banshees and that stuff, and then they all thought they were vampires, and that was indie.
That should be fun. Yeah, that should be fun.
Yeah.
So what it really, the article that you just read, what it really sounds like is they've cut the money-making stuff away from the potentially money-making stuff away from the debt.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, they've cut the debt so that they don't have to lose the profits to the debt.
Billy Baxco there says as Modi is being forced to take on $1 billion in embraced debt, they were only bought 2 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, they're distributing the debt away from their more profitable companies. Here we go.
We call this a deck chair report, everybody. Rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic.
Yep, yeah.
With musical chairs, yeah.
Hamrick out at Viz, IDW editor to Mad Cave, new Kickstarter comics leader. Oh, new gatekeeper. Yay.
Who's the new gatekeeper? We're going to find out who's going to be
saying no.
Canceling
I didn't
your
read many
campaigns.
magazines back in the day about comics, so correct me if I'm wrong, but were the stories in those magazines like Wizard and what have you, were they about editors and executives moving from one company to another?
They were
not.
Not
The
Wizard.
stories and the artists and the creators?
Yes, that was Wizard.
Yeah,
Had
dude, we
Comics
need more of
Buyer's
that.
Guide and Amazing Heroes and Comics Journal out there that covered a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, they cover the industry stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
We cover industry stuff here.
ICV2 reports there are. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say it matters. It might not be entertaining, but it does matter. I noticed that there's a lot. To be fair, we were just reading about Dale. So like there are people that talk about like creators, but this stuff does matter too, because it's like, okay, well, because oftentimes we'll read books for better or worse to be like, oh, like I've always been like, why isn't Claremont, writing X-Men full time? Because he still wants to. You talk to the guy, he still wants to. So it's like, okay, why not? Well, it's because someone behind the scenes is preventing it, right? Someone behind the scenes is deciding that someone else is better. And so it is important that we're covering this.
It would be important if the industry was healthy.
Well,
but exactly,
it's not healthy for this reason, though.
Yeah, but exactly as Randy's saying, it's just deck chairs on the Titanic. It's just, this exec went here and that exec went there, and it's like, well, are you going to produce a decent book? Are you? And it's exactly what you're saying. I agree with you, Vaughan. It's just like it is important to know what's going on, but it's just the industry is a joke.
And when it comes to Claremont, I'm under the understanding, and I could be wrong now, but I know it was true before, that Claremont is under an exclusive contract with Marvel.
Yes,
so he's paid, his medical's paid to not write.
No,
or anybody else, and then Marvel taps him maybe once a year, maybe once every other year to do something.
Like
there's something I don't know.
It's like an old couple for their birthday and anniversary.
Yeah.
I'll have to talk about it because it was an in-person. I'll tell you guys off air, but there was like some interesting stuff because there was. All right, I don't know if I could ask me off air about it because there was a conversation I heard, and maybe he'll talk because he seems like very open if you talk to him in person.
It's okay if you want to correct me. It's fine. I could be wrong.
No, you're right. You're right. But it was just an interesting dialogue I heard that reinforces your point.
Okay.
That I heard that a few times.
ICV2 reports here on People on the Move with longtime Viz Media Vice President Kevin Hamrick moving on, an IDW Publisher Group editor, to Mad Cave Studios and a new leader of comics at Kickstarter. The position of Viz Vice President Publishing Sales has been eliminated.
Oops.
And with it, the role of Kevin Hamrick at Viz Media.
Oops.
He told ICV2 Hamrick started at Viz as Director of Sales and Marketing in 2011, was promoted to Senior Director, Sales and Marketing 2013, and to Vice President publishing sales in 2020. Prior to his time at Viz, Hamrick had vice president roles at News Group and Quattro Publishing Group.
Quattro.
Quattro.
That means four.
I know. No,
Okay.
that's Quattro.
No, Quarto would be fourth.
This is Quarto.
Sesame Street has
Yeah.
been brought to you.
Well, it
today.
might not be that.
Quadro.
Not everything is Spanish.
Because the first
Everything's
three
Spanish.
didn't quite make it.
It might be Greek. We don't know.
Everything's Spanish.
Hamrick
It's not Spanish, it's crap.
was an
third one-
invaluable.
His third attempt didn't make it on the name alone because somehow Trace Publishing Group never caught on.
Right.
Yeah.
Hamrick was an invaluable source of information on the manga market for ICV2 readers. We typically interviewed him about twice a year for updates on the business. Just twice a year. His last day was April
Hey, you got
26th.
time? It's time to get up on the business.
It's that time, but it's the time of the year, boys.
Update.
His last day is tomorrow, April 26th.
Oh my
Group
God.
editor Kristen Simon, who was laid off at IDW Publishing this month, has been hired as senior editor at Mad Cave Studios, where she will oversee new adult single issues and graphic novel titles for both the direct and book markets, Mad Cave announced. We're extremely fortunate to be adding someone with as much industry experience and respect as Kristen. Well, I got bad news for you. I'm a big fan of Mad Cave, but if you're hiring IDW leftovers, your future's not looking good. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
There, a Mad Cave wasn't because I got my first Geiger issue. I still need to catch up on Ghost Machine. I've only read a little bit of it so far, but I got stuff signed by the whole team. Anyway, Mad Cave was the label that Geiger was first published under.
I love Mad Cave, man. I do. I really love the work
I've
they
never
do.
heard anything else from them. No.
But I mean, they mostly do graphic novels, young adult graphic novels now.
Okay.
Yeah, so but I like them. They're in Florida. I like what they're doing over there. But I don't see hiring just because you got a lot of experience doesn't mean you've got good experience.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I mean,
saying?
you can have a lot of experience at failing.
Yeah, and right now, I mean,
Or both.
my IDWs are sinking ship. Sam Cusick has been hired as the new senior outreach leader for comics at Kickstarter, where he will report. They just hired a guy last year. The other guy only had a year, right? Where he will report to senior manager of outreach.
He looks
Liz
like
Mao.
somebody who will be in senior outreach at Kickstarter.
This gets
Yeah.
better as you
Oh, I'm
read
sorry.
it.
Did I say that
This-
out loud?
Yeah,
This
you
gets
did.
better
Okay,
as you
good.
read it, guys.
Yeah, it
Honest.
does. Prior to this new role, Cusick
No,
spent
no.
time at Boom Studios, where he helped develop and manage Kickstarter campaigns for major properties, including The Expanse, Power Rangers, and Farscape. So
There
he
you
ran a
go.
couple Kickstarters, so he's super qualified.
He ran
Yeah.
all those Kickstarter campaigns
ran
that pissed all the Kickstarter people off.
Wait,
Because they're all
Power
going,
Rangers
why
was
are
on
these big
Kickstarter?
corporations running these Kickstarter campaigns?
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Jim
was
Boyce
surprised.
had one. Yeah.
Jim-
I was definitely
it's-
surprised.
It's kind of like, and look, to be fair, I did back, so you could argue I'm part of the problem.
You
I
are
haven't
part of the
finished it
problem.
yet, but I did back that Kickstarter one for Witchblade Omnibus. But it's like,
Yeah.
dude, they had the money to make the Omnibus, probably. I still did it, so maybe I'm part of the. But here's the thing: I give money to smaller Kickstarters too, so it's okay. But I do know I had someone in the industry tell me that they thought I was like, he goes. The big two, he thinks the big two eventually are going to just start doing crowdfunding and they're going to screw over everyone.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So I think we got to get what we got. Here's the thing: everything is temporary, but if you gotta build a fan base that'll be loyal to you. Because the fact of the matter is, they'll bring over fans.
Comic shops weren't carrying us, so we found crowdfunding. And when crowdfunding goes away, we'll find something else.
Thing
Because
is,
that's what we
Ron,
do. We're tenacious and we never quit.
in order for Marvel and DC to do that, in order to run their own campaigns like that, they would have to care about what their publishing does.
Yeah.
That's their problem. Yeah,
And that's a big thing that they don't right now.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's why you're getting the books that the retailers are getting. It's because they don't care what's being published as long as those icons are secure and their trademarks can still be made into underoos.
Yeah.
So he also spent time at Pop Culture Shock, retailer Kamikaze, and Tiny Onion.
Tiny Onion.
Tiny Onion. That's what she said.
Oh my god.
Cusick's new role is an apparent replacement for Bryce Gold. I never did send Bryce that fruit basket I owed him. For canceling that campaign and giving them an opportunity to come over to film my comic
Oh, yeah.
Man, that helped get
Which
so many
campaign was
eyes.
that?
That was what was the name of that one?
Which one?
So
Anyway,
Sorry.
many.
Something at heart.
something
at heart. Something like that. Yeah.
Young at heart.
There's so many. Yeah. Who had the position of head of comics at Kickstarter
Go gatekeeper.
for a brief 2023 interregnum between his 8 years at Comixology, and he's gone to a new role. He just began at Distillery, so he left.
Distillery.
Is it Distillery?
Still too poor to afford vowels.
Last December. So Bryce is over there. So screw Bryce, man. I can't see the guy. He's not getting it. He's not getting it.
It's here.
But that's what's going on there.
We wish
you have
Sam
to pay for the vowels. So
Cusack the best. Yeah, that's true. We're all paying for that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Hasbro licenses Power Ranger toys because Hasbro needs something desperately bad to make money right now. Hasbro's been awarded global rights, except Asia, to produce and distribute Power Ranger products to Playmates Toys.
Then it's not global.
The company announced with the first product range, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers toy line planned for 2025 launch. Playmates will have rights to develop Power Ranger products, including action figures, blasters, plush, role play, vehicles, and accessories. Glad there were commas in there, or else that would be really
role play
weird.
accessories.
Blaster, plush, role play vehicles, and accessories.
This sounds very sexual all of a sudden.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, got a little
Hasbro retains entertainment rights and its licensing, publishing, fashion, and footwear promotions and other rights to other companies. Power Rangers Cosmic Fury is currently available on Netflix. Hasbro acquired Power Rangers from Saban Brands in 2018 for $522 million.
$1 million.
Renegade Game Studios produces games based on Power Rangers. Boom! Studios, which produces comics based on the property, is currently planning a major transition this summer. Oh, that doesn't sound good.
Oh, yeah,
No, that never sounds good, does it?
That word transition just I think is problematic anymore.
Hasbro's in the news again. Look at this.
Games including Magic up at Hasbro. Tabletop games. Hasbro's total gaming sales, including Magic the Gathering, were up in Q1 2024 as the overall company began to recover from post-COVID issues. It only took them 2 years. Hasbro total gaming sales, which include Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, and the game products in the company's consumer products segment, i.e. Monopoly et al., were up 6% from $386.5 million in Q1 2023 to $408 million in Q1 this year. Magic the Gathering sales, including digital, grew 4% to $237.9 million from, why didn't they just call it 238? They could have. Million from $229.1 million in the year ago quarter. Sales in the Wizards of the Coast and digital gaming segment were up 7% from $295.2 million to $316.3 million. Behind the segment's blockbuster licensed games, Baldur's Gate 3 and Monopoly Go, and the growth of Magic the Gathering.
Monopoly Go!
Baldur's Gate, that's a game where you can have sex with a bear, right?
Well, you can be a bear.
Yeah.
You can choose to be a bear.
And you can intercourse the bear. Also,
free flying.
You can intercourse the bear.
Intercourse the bear.
That's I gotta trademark that name now.
Yeah, dude.
Intercourse the bear.
Would you like to intercourse me?
Band name called it.
Yep.
Intercourse.
Yeah, band name. Yeah. Wizards of the Coast tabletop game sales, Magic the Gathering plus Dungeons and Dragons, were up 5% from $217.9 million to $228.2 million. The timing of Outlaws of Thunder Junction sales, some of which hit Q1 revenues, and the success of the Fallout set were cited as factors. In the conference call, CEO Chris Cox said that Magic the Gathering tabletop sales were up about 4%, and since the overall tabletop sales in the segment were up 5%, there's some indication that sales of Dungeons and Dragons on the tabletop were recovering from Q1 2023, when the OGL
Open
official
gaming
open gaming license controversy was turning off long-term customers. We estimated that year-over-year sales of D&D were down subsequently in 2023 due to part to the open gaming license issue.
Yeah, that was when they tried to change it.
Yeah.
Make it not open anymore.
I just wanted money.
Oh, yeah, that was a masterful move in marketing.
Oh, yeah, that was, and that got leaked. And I remember.
Not quite as masterful as Bud Light, though.
Well, yeah.
Exactly.
Nick was with us when that happened. And Nick is huge. I mean, he game developer, right? Mm-hmm. So that was big impact for him. Yep. That whole thing and the fallout from that and even the recovery that they had from that affected our sales of the game.
But it's amazing how quickly that got brushed under the rug, though.
Oh yeah, very quickly.
Nope, didn't mean it. Magic the Gathering engagement, which we interpret as largely referring to organized play participation, is back at pre-pandemic levels. Cox said in the conference call.
Cox, sorry.
Improve that. Digital and licensed game sales on the Wizard of the Coast and digital gaming segment were up 14% in quarter one. From 77.3 million in 23 to 88.1 million in first quarter of 2024. Operating profit in the segment exploded, up 60% to 122.8 million from 76.8 million in quarter one 2023. Behind the growth in digital licensing revenue and cost management, translation, layoffs.
Is it Cox on layoffs?
See Cox on layoffs.
That sounds like a botched medical procedure. I'm sorry.
Operating profit margins in the Wizard of the Coast and gaming digital gaming segment were 38.8% of sales for the quarter.
This is too early for this amount of fun, guys. Tone it down.
Here's what's fun. Here, check this out.
Hasbro's
all that to say.
Hasbro's overall revenues were down 24% for the quarter.
Always good news here.
From $1 billion in quarter one 23 to $757.3 million this year. Some of the decline was due to the fact that Hasbro included E1 revenues in quarter one of 23, but did not in quarter one of 2024. Without that change, company-wide sales declined only 9%.
Oh, I have a little comment. Ali Sanders is asking for bacon. Like she's clicked the link and no bacon yet. So
there's bacon.
There's bacon in the back there.
There's also crispy bacon in the corner.
Yeah, crispy bacon in the background. Yeah,
crispy is over there.
Rule 34.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What kind of sociopathic streams this early in the morning? What?
Old folks sleep early.
Welcome, Lady Al.
Old folks.
Lady Al, it's what we do.
We appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thank you,
Lady Ali.
We're gonna get up to tell people to get off our lawns.
Excuse me, bear effer.
Do you require assistance?
Yeah.
Yeah. Next on Intercourse the Bear. Yeah.
What a dumb last name. Why wouldn't you change it?
The bear.
Some people just gotta hang on to their cocks. That's all there is.
Yeah, exactly.
Lady Ali.
Gotta hang on to it.
It's your bacon fix. Yeah.
Enough of that business.
Bacon fix.
Just said the Jeppy Family Enterprises, Gemstone Publishing expands to original graphic novels.
Oh,
that
is not edible bacon.
Touche.
I wonder why they were refusing to publish other people's graphic novels.
There you go.
Now you know why.
That was their plan all along.
Gemstone Publishing, the Jeppy Family Enterprises company known for the Overstreet comic book price guide, is entering the original graphic novel market for the first time with a publishing program around the Kill Shakespeare property. The company announced the program will include both a new volume and collections of previously released material. The program kicks off with a free comic book day release promoting the new arc, Romeo vs. Juliet, a Kill Shakespeare adventure. In November, Gemstone will release the full original graphic novel, Romeo vs. Juliet, a Kill Shakespeare adventure, by Anthony Del Col, with art by Stefan Toshev, letters by Becca Carey, and a cover by Richard
Isanov.
Sure, I'm going to say that's right.
Isanov.
I apologize, Richard, but I got your first name right.
Yeah.
The previously released Kill Shakespeare material will be released in 2 new compendium editions, beginning with Kill Shakespeare First Folio by Del Cole and co-writer Connor McCreary, with artist Andy Bellinger,
Bellinger, yeah.
and colorist Ian Herring in September, followed by Kill Shakespeare's second folio in spring of 2025. The first Kill Shakespeare series launched from IDW Publishing in 2011 and immediately received a Harvey nomination. Congratulations.
Who's Harvey?
Folks.
Harvey.
He's the other guy.
It's a
Big rat.
it's an award. It's an award that we don't hear a whole lot about anymore. Named after the great Harvey Kurtzman.
Okay.
Harvey Kurtzman. It's like an Eisner, but with a Harvey.
It's a Harvey.
Dude, like, it was an honest question. I didn't know.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be an award that's nominated and voted upon by the professionals in the industry. But defining exactly who the professionals are in the industry anymore is kind of a stretch.
Problem. I see a problem in that.
It's pretty much if you're in the right group, you get to vote for the Harveys.
Del Cole has gone on to success with other properties.
It's not even a right group either. It's a left.
It's not even yet.
Anyway,
including the death of Nancy Drew. And I Escaped a Chinese Internment Camp, which received a 2022 Pulitzer Award for illustrated reporting and commentary.
And best humor.
Was it?
Anyway,
Had the best
no,
humor?
sorry. No, just kidding.
Oh, okay.
The Death of
best
Nancy
humor.
Drew and How I Escaped a Chinese Internment Camp. You know those have to be comedies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
Rex in the house.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, dude? Yeah, people are getting in, and it's my problem.
There we are.
Guys, what we are talking about today
Ooh, look at that, dude.
is Vaughn
stuff.
Coleman.
Yeah.
His first book. So, it's important to keep things. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move us to this screen for a little while.
Yeah.
It's important to try to keep fresh, keep ourselves fresh in this industry. I've talked with a lot of you out there
Like potato chips.
this week.
Base.
Seriously, though, I've talked to a lot of you out there this week that have become almost disillusioned and with comic books and this industry, with collaboration, with dealing with people, with just the overall problems that arise from doing this. And I spoke with someone a few weeks ago who said I just feel like I want to be done with it, and I don't want to do it anymore.
How dare you?
Well, I'm seeing that a lot. It's not just one or two. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of people just really frustrated with comic books. It's hard to make sales. The people that used to be, most of the content now is just drama, and people are fighting all the time. And it.
Why?
You know why?
Yeah, because that's why.
And people ask,
I think
what does it all
the
mean?
end of days, to be honest, of the comic book industry.
Dogs and cats living together.
In its previous incarnation.
Yes,
okay,
it's true.
That's what happens before things change.
I
is
said
it
that's
gets
why you get
really
deck chair
chaotic.
reports. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tough, right? So I started really reflecting on what do we need to do to keep fresh, right? And I knew we had Vaughn coming on today, and I think about this guy, and he's so excited, about his campaign, about this first book. And I remember, I talked with Hojo. Hojo was so excited his first book. I don't know how excited he is with his second one. Once you kind of get in there, sometimes you learn real quick. It can be tough. It can be tough.
I'm just co-streaming this on mine, Allie. That's on his channel. Make sure you sub.
We don't screech at each other here. That's not what we do.
No, we don't.
No, we're friends. This is a group of friends that likes to gather around and talk about comic books, and
we're boiling with rage inside, but we just
right, yeah. We keep that inside where it belongs.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me.
We keep that rage hidden.
Yeah, you always push it down until it turns into a heart attack.
Right, until we have to go to the emergency room for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Hating ain't creating.
Yeah.
Sizzle.
An oldie but a goodie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a new nickname. Goldilocks. That's funny. That is funny, Grey Wolf. Thanks. That is hilarious. Yeah, I can't believe you guys have
Goldilocks-
managed to go 5 minutes without screeching at each other like little girls.
Oh, yeah,
When I saw Grey Wolf write Goldilocks, I thought it said solid cocks. I'm sorry.
You know,
Goldilocks.
when you screech at each other and you're complaining all the time, you know what that really means, right? You know what it means? Doug will tell you what it means.
Doug,
It means you're a catcher, not a pitcher.
Yeah.
That's right, Doug.
And the thing is, like, right now, like, all of us, I think we all taste the biscuit every now and then, right?
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce.
Yeah, dude, that's
those
when
hits,
I was
mama?
creating comics. One of the things I was most excited for was non-stop drama. I was really excited.
Yeah.
Non-stop drama, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to make comics.
I can't wait for internet trolls to make fun of me for no reason. I can't wait for them to bring up my past traumas. To weaponize my past traumas.
Yeah, or
Try to
to
keep
make
people
up
from buying
things
my
about
book.
me that aren't
Really?
true. Like that was the weirdest one to me was when he said that this guy said that I lied and said I was younger than I was on a stream, and he said it like that as if this is a thing that's happened on air.
Like a matter of fact.
Like he said it like, oh, and Vaughn has said he's 21 less than a year ago. What? Like it was such an oddly specific lie.
On that stream I watched less than a year ago, you said you were 21. Too bad it streamed 4 years ago.
Well, I didn't even start streaming until I was like 23.
Right,
But
yeah.
apparently, why would I? First of all, what incentive would I have to lie about my age?
I assumed you were 21 because
Yeah.
you look so young.
And not only that, why is he so interested in your age?
Because he wants to,
Wants to make sure he's legal.
listen. Because look, I don't blame him. I mean, a lot of people really, they look at me.
And everyone's gay once in a while.
Yeah,
I don't blame him. Honestly, I don't blame him. I'm adorable.
Look,
you know?
I
Look at me.
look. I
Look at
don't
me.
blame them. They got to
Yeah,
flirt.
look
They
at me.
want to flirt with me.
I'm
you know?
adorable, you know? It's like, wow.
He goes, man, I would do me. I would
That
do
is
me.
not a joke. That is a natural fact.
Look, I'm flattered. You know.
Oh,
Yeah, there you
man.
go. There you go.
We have fun here. That's what we do.
I'm just
Why? Because fuck them, that's why.
But no, I saw that, man. It's like you're just trying to make a comic book. Yeah, and people kind of going off. It's just so stupid.
And
Bizarre.
people
So
are mad at,
stupid.
I will say, I understand the ignore them thing, right? I get that, but it's like, I'm sorry. I think that people every once in a while, it's okay to shine a light and be like, "Hey, this is happening." Just back to business. Like I'm not gonna bitch about it for a long time, but it's okay to shine a light every once in a while and be, "Hey, this is what I'm dealing with. This is happening." Anyway, back to work. I think
If you look at something and there's nothing there, what's the difference of figuring out what it was in the first place?
Yeah, I think Mindy's a little bit right here. Part of the drama is damage control to bat away the BS and clean up house. As the industry grows through massive changes, I think it's also a way to misdirect. So, it's what we call projection in certain industries where people's like, no, look at them. Look what they've done. Where you're just trying to pull the attention off yourself from being a...
what did I do?
It's all you, man.
What did I do? Jesus.
I'm just like making a comic, and it's like
You're young and you're excited
I'm
about
young,
making a
I'm
comic.
handsome.
You're young and
Let me
people
show
want
you. Let me show you what you did.
Yeah,
You're
you
young
did
and
this.
people
You've
want
raised $8,188 with 125
Oh, yeah, I
backers
did do that. I forgot about
in
that.
just a few days.
There you go, dude.
In 5 days, less than a week, you have raised over $8,000 on your comic book.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? That is any level of success just eats at people that feel like failers. That
Why him and not me?
yeah.
He must be doing
What
something.
they see is that's $8,188 and 125 backers that you stole from them. Somehow your success is a direct attack on their livelihood. And it's this stupid mentality. It's what people try to get us into so we can fight. No.
I was actually just thinking about
success.
that. So,
How dare you?
Honestly, that's what I do when my friends succeed. I'm like, you know what? I can't hang out with you anymore. Honestly,
Hey, I got a backer last night. What do I care?
Hey, congratulations!
You got a backer?
There you go.
I don't
What was
like
that, Pixel?
I don't like when people I know succeed. So
Yeah, keep it to yourself, man.
Yeah, dude.
Jesus.
Like, can you not spread any happy thoughts here, please?
Yeah,
Thank you.
Jesus.
Oh man, so I was thinking about the situation for Vaughn.
Well, they
yesterday.
may refund.
Kind of stuck in my head, and I was thinking about it.
Hey, Katie.
The thing that really annoyed me was that they also called in to like question like your finances, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Or something about your money,
Which wasn't even
And-
true, but it was like, why do you care?
I mean, even if it was true, you look at all these campaigns that make a lot of money or at least have some level of success, but then the money goes away and they never fulfill and stuff. Why would you give somebody that like has money, like give them shit about it? Because at the same time, they're like, they're the ones that are going to have the funds to be able to absorb a loss on their campaign and still be able to fulfill. Like I just
There's literally, you break apart literally any sentence. I could do a whole thing. Every single word was stupid. All of it. Like there was not a single point that was in any way logical, that in any way would hold up to any level of questioning. And even outside of all of that, why do you care? Like, shut up. It's
What
the
does
same
it
thing.
matter?
Oh, you silly, simple bastard.
So this is the divine intervention. You could become a spiritual guru on your own, but you just have to tie your shoes, and you just have to know how to eat burritos backwards.
And there's a certain individual who has multiple times, I don't know why he thinks anyone cares, who has tweeted out, I'm not backing Vaughn. I'm not supporting him. I will not support these. I'm like, I don't care.
Thank him for the press, man.
But it's like,
He
no, but
shared
it's
it
like,
out.
I don't get it. Because it's like,
why do you take? I know what you mean. Why does he bother taking the time to even type?
You know what happens when I
There
don't
you
back
go.
a campaign? I just don't back it. Like,
Hey, are we ready to put this up on the website yet?
What?
This piece right here can go on the website right now, I think. Yeah. Well, the only
right.
thing is going to be weird about like how we link up some of the code, but yeah, we can try that out.
Well, I mean, I can just redirect the link.
Okay. Yeah.
Or
I mean, this is
whatever.
ready to go.
Or if you know how, I mean, you have access. Why don't you put it up there? Put it up at the top.
Okay.
Make a link for it up at the top. If you don't know how to make the link, you can. You're smarter than I am on this stuff.
I'll see what I can do there.
What am I
I'm not
talking
sure.
about? I'm a freaking comic book artist.
Such
I tell
comic
stories and play the dulcimer. I'm not a website guy.
Oh my God.
But what I know is this is super helpful.
Super helpful.
Yep.
So what are we looking at here, Pixel? Explain this.
I just wanted to show this real quick because we were looking at Vaughn's numbers. We saw that he had made 8188 on my comic. And this right here is just a quick calculator that we created for the site to show if you use Fund My Comic and you're doing a 30-day exclusive, you save, like right now, he's already saved almost $300 in fees by going with
Nice.
FTC instead of Indiegogo or Kickstarter.
Yeah, very cool.
Look at that,
I
man.
didn't realize. So Stripe also takes 3%.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Okay, so gotcha.
The thing is, like that number 81 to 88 is 1/8 away from being something completely different.
Okay.
88, 88. Yeah. So just saying.
Wait, what?
I'm all about the numbers.
Yeah, we did some illustrative.
We don't
stuff
even know what
earlier
you're
this
talking
week.
about, man.
It means you're a catcher, not a pitcher.
You know what? Look, that speaks really good on you that you don't know what that means, what I'm saying.
Ku Klux Klan. Oh no!
What?
No. Oh, no.
Yeah.
I think this is an excellent tool.
I think it
show
is an
people
excellent
what's
tool.
really
I'm
going
loving
on.
it, man. You can see it in black and white.
See it right there. I mean, think about if you're running a 6-figure campaign
Mm-hmm.
and you run the first 30 days on Fund My Comic, how much money are you going to make? Think about
Yeah.
it.
You're gonna save.
It's a
How
good
much-
financial decision, guys.
Yeah, much more money in your pocket, baby.
Yeah, because
yeah.
you're going to do your initial business on the first 30 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of the people that will follow you wherever you go are coming. So instead of taking more money, and look, if you want to talk to me about the ambassador program, it's even better. If you become an ambassador, which means that you're out there actively campaigning and recruiting other creators to use Fund My Comic, and you're and you share out the videos and you help share out campaigns, and you're constantly talking about Fund My Comic, you become an ambassador like Hojo. 1% platform fee, guys, for our ambassadors. because you're out there as part of our marketing team,
Dude,
right?
41.
I didn't know about this. Huh.
Yeah.
$41,000, guys. You know
41,000.
What kind of party you can throw in Panama with $41,000?
Oh, this Red Planet 2?
Colombian ladies,
Yeah.
Colombian powder.
Well,
A yacht.
That's a lot. $41,000 is a lot of money.
It's a lot of
Well,
money,
check,
baby.
check this out. We were just talking about the ambassador program, though, right? So
Right, yeah.
we go like this. This is how much that Cyberfrog made. If we were to do this out, wow, you know what? I just changed it. I don't have the calculations in here now. It was like $50,000 with the 1%.
Yeah, if he would to be an ambassador.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
And it's look, it's really easy to be an ambassador. You talk about it on when you stream, you talk about Film My Comic. You talk to other creators like, hey, you need to come over here and use Film My Comic. You try to create help.
Well,
create
I
this
was offered but
momentum.
never heard back. So
I'm an ambassador now, I guess. So.
Yeah, you're an
I need to
ambassador.
change that. I need to change that.
Rex, we'll talk. We'll talk today. We'll talk today. We never got our meeting to set up for that. We need to sit down and talk about it. So yeah,
we're busy people.
yeah. So the ambassador program is great. Oh, so yeah, Ali's gonna be putting over there, and we have right now on Fundiverse, it's a 0% platform fee if you launch over there. For it's anything other than comics, right? But look, and Hojo is the one that helped us develop the ambassador program, by the way. Yeah, he became an ambassador early on, and
Carrie in the house,
and he's recruited probably about 7 or 8 different creators to come over. Yeah, Ronan is.
I just wanted to
Yeah, I
say
mean,
that
I
gave
recommend.
him a biscuit.
I recommend. I mean, I'm only a few days in, but I'd say it's been a positive experience so far. That's the thing is, I knew I was like, okay, well, a lot of the people that are backing have never backed a comp before. I might as well bring them here, right?
Mm-hmm.
To place the platform fee was very, very good offer. I had to do that. And on top of that, the fact that I could talk to Luke. One of the biggest complaints I hear about Indiegogo and Kickstarter is they get shadow banned, which is horrible. And there's no recourse. So I'm like, why would I give them my money and my why would I put my business in the hands of someone who's just gonna go, y'all, we just like put that in a drawer.
I can turn you off
And shut it, lock it, and then it's like, oh, we'll let you know how much money you make. No, hold on. I'm on the front page of this. You think I'll ever be on the front page of Indiegogo and Kickstarter? Hell no. Hell no.
No.
Yeah, Luke Stone is the man.
So Hojo helped recruit. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are here because of that. I mean, just it's good stuff, and it's not for us. For me, it's not about making money. It's about building an avenue for people to be able to be more successful and get more eyes on their comics and other people's comics. And it's I love comic books, man. I love the people that make comics too. Most of them, anyway. Not all. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Some of you guys I don't care about at all.
Screw you.
And I love Vaughn's sales card picture.
Which one?
Like the sales.
Oh yeah, like
yeah.
I was at a film festival. I took that, and I'm like, nothing has in the years since.
Yeah.
Nothing has topped that picture. So
There you go.
I'm just gonna rock with it until I get a superior profile picture.
Yeah, but it works, dude. It works.
It does.
Indie no-go.
Indie no-go.
I love that one.
There you go.
Indie no-go, yeah.
I might register indienogo.com and direct it to Film My Comic.
That would be
That'd
funny.
be good.
Yep.
Looks like I got a project to do this afternoon.
Ooh, a great place for blacklists.
Yeah, there you go.
If you don't want your comic shown, listen. I like the I backed tons of Indiegogos, right? I go there for the creators. The algorithm. I remember I looked up Graham Nolan's name right after he launched. And it's like it has books from years ago, and I'm like, what about the one he literally just launched? Can you just show me that one? No,
it's hidden. Can't find it nowheres. All right, so here's what we're gonna do, guys. I want to get at least a couple backers on Vaughn's book this morning. Okay, I want you to flip Vaughn the bird. You know why? Because he's young, he's energetic, and he's good looking. So screw that guy.
And people want him. Yeah.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
People really want me, man. I
And so here's what we're gonna. For those of you that may not know, when I say flip the bird, if you back the project, do a super chat in any way, throw some money or what we call bacon wrap, any of this, you're flipping us the bird, and we play this little clip. So there we go. We play that little bird, right? So what I want you to do is I want you guys out there to think about flipping Vaughn the bird this morning, right? If you haven't backed this yet.
Yes.
Here's what we got to do. We're going to talk about this. We talked about this a little bit a couple of weeks ago. So what was the inspiration for this comic book? Like really at the heart of it.
Oh, man. It was
What made you so emotional about it? Like the number, just pick one.
When you say, are you talking about the original idea?
No, there's that thing down in your gut that says, I have to make this comic book.
Oh, man. It was a number of things. It was, it was my love for the superhero genre and the idea that I dug down in the core and I was like, well, why do I love this genre? And I remember I was making a list. And it was like, okay, well, I love the continuity. I love the worlds. I love all of that, everything, right? But I was like, okay, but why? Let's go further because it's evolved. It's how like your love for something evolves, and then sometimes you have to go back to that childhood instinct and find what was the spark, what was the seed. And I found that when I was a little kid, I had lost my dad died in 9/11, and I was like, I needed like a sense of I was very angry, and I needed a sense of justice in the world, and I needed a male role model. And then it was like superhero shows. They gave me like everything I needed. And it was also characters that could take their tragic pain, like Spider-Man losing Uncle Ben, right? Struck a personal chord, that he takes that and he uses it to make the world a better place so no one has to suffer a tragedy like that. And it sounds cheesy, but it's like to this day, they inspire me to try and be a better man. And I always found the difference between heroes and villains is that villains use their tragedies to hurt people and heroes use their tragedy to help people. And so it was like I wanted to create something that would inspire another kid the same way I was inspired, or even as an adult. I get inspired, and I'll probably still get inspired by the time I'm like 90 by these characters, right? They'll say, "Oh, inspire kids," and that's true. But it's I wanted to reawaken something that I felt was missing. And in an age where people are constantly trying to tear down and deconstruct superheroes, I wanted to create a reconstruction and a reconstitution. And so I created a character who initially I decided to actually extend his origin story because I wanted it to be like, so his superhero name is Galvanite, which I think is a cool name now. But if you look at his costume, it's a makeshift costume because he has ideas and aspirations that are beyond his current capabilities. And he's trying to grow into it. And that's why I had like that knight in shining armor is the hero that fought in World War III that he's aspiring to be. I wanted to give him impossible ideals to live up to. And then a postmodernist writer would take that and say, see, and these are impossible ideas and real people can't do it. I want to say that he might never reach it. The pursuit is noble and worthy. And you'll become a better man along the way. And I think that's all really what it boils down to.
So what tragedy does your hero
go through?
That was the thing, right? Is I remember the first couple drafts, I kind of like alluded to the fact that maybe the dad passed, but I didn't really have an exact reason. And part of that was I was like, I don't want it to be a self-insert, but I did when I dug down into the core. And so I wanted it to be, I did end up making it similar to my own tragedy. But I was like, I want to make sure that it's not just like, I did it for the story, right? That was why I did it. But then I decided to use it as, okay, well, logically in the world, there was a war. So his dad was a war hero. But I decided he wouldn't die during the war, his dad, because I wanted him to be born after. So it was like he was slated. His dad is killed in a terrorist attack, but I wanted to do it differently because whereas my case, a lot of the guys are still out there. I wanted it to be something in his past that he has to move on from. So I made it's a suicide bomber. So it's one and done. So it's like he has these powers and he can't avenge his dad. He can't hunt them down because that wasn't the story I wanted to tell. I know if I got powers, I'd probably be out searching, right? But that's not what I want. I wanted my character that is just something tragic in his past that's left there, and he just has to move forward with the experiences that he had. And so it's similar in the sense that it was a terrorist attack, but it's different in the sense that it wasn't part of it was. And I don't really spend much time talking about the attack itself. The important thing is that how it affected him and how it moves him forward. But yeah, I did make it a terrorist attack. It was a decision I debated, and I wanted it to be not the focal point. The focal point wasn't how he died; it was the impact.
Well, that's the cool thing. You're drawing on your life experiences. That's what people is going to respond to.
Yeah, and I like the fact that the closure he's gonna get is not gonna be directly with what happened to him, because I mean he can't really seek out direct revenge because it was like a suicide bomber. But yeah, like I like the fact that he has to find his closure elsewhere.
And I like that you can write this character from a deep place of pain, knowing that relation is going to make the character more relatable to us, as the readers.
That was important to me. It wasn't just me doing my diary, you know.
But someone, while you were telling that story, flipped you the bird.
Thank you, man. Thank you for flipping me the bird. I appreciate it.
There you go.
All right. So let me ask this. So we know what tragedy your character's overcoming. What's the conflict that puts him into this superhero arena? This I'm going to go and do this. What is that?
I like when people ask me story-based questions. Actually, it's refreshing.
Well, that's why we're here.
Yeah. No, but I mean, you know, a lot of people ask me personal, and it's great. I like that you're asking me about the story, and it's often scary when a writer can't answer basic questions about the stories. The conflict is basically, so to start. There's multiple levels of conflict, but it starts off at its core. What sets him off when he gets the powers at first? It's the conflict is almost with trying to learn the powers. That's its own conflict. But then once he's kind of got that figured out, not in any way mastered, the conflict becomes almost like he has the instinct of, he has powers and he knows he wants to be a hero, but it's finding that path. And when he sees on the news that there's a heist at a nuclear reactor, it's like he instantly goes, the timing is perfect. This is it. I'm going to rush in. And so he tries to stop a heist at a nuclear reactor with a supervillain. And part of the conflict is, yes, with that, but it's also with he's not ready yet, and he's rushing in anyway. He's trying to force himself to be ready. He's got a makeshift costume. It's like he's learning how to become a superhero, and he is now got a villain that he's running headfirst into, and he is just totally out of his depth. I wanted it to be.
What's your hero's motivation for wanting to be a hero?
Pizza.
So to put it in simple, because this is something I thought about a lot. It's a number of things. One, there's a multitude of reasons. One is he thinks it's cool. He wants to be like these guys that he grew up idolizing. He gets powers and he's like, of course I'm going to be a super. It's a natural thing. Back in the day, it's like superhero wasn't a thing, but now that superheroes are so ingrained in our culture, it's almost like I wanted it to create a world where it's like, yeah, if you get superpowers, naturally you want to be. But it's outside of that. He wants to make the world a better place. He does want to be known. He has a strong sense of adventure. Even before he gets his powers, he finds the crystal because he's out searching for something. He's kind of a bit of a daredevil. He's got an adventure spirit, and he's got this need to fight.
Feels a little bit like Luffy, the way you describe him.
I haven't read it, but it's I haven't checked out One Piece yet. It's intimidating to jump into that, but yeah, I'd say he's someone that, imagine, like, how we almost have that Fight Club kind of talks about it. It's a weird comparison, but how there's like that, we don't have our war to fight. It's kind of like, okay, that war's past, but he has that. He knows there's something out there. So you see it. There's a scene I kept asking myself, why am I so insistent on adding the scene with bullies before he gets powers? And it's because I wanted to show that he had this fighting spirit that need to stand up early on. That like when someone shoves him aside in the hallway, like the other friends don't really react, and he's like, no. So he's a bit of a hothead. He's always wanted to do something to make the world a better place. He sees things going wrong in the world, even in his high school. And then when he sees at a reactor, it's like he's someone that wants to make a difference.
So it's like that Steve Rogers moment.
Yes.
Getting picked on, wants to do something, but doesn't have the ability to do so.
And then when he gets it, he thinks he can get it all. And it's like, no, dude. Oh, what? You have superpowers? It doesn't make you a hero. Oh, you have the heart. Okay, you have to learn. And that's why in issue 2, which we will see, he will get, I'm not going to spoil it. You'll see a bit of it in issue 1, but in issue 2, one of the heroes in there, I won't say who, is going to train him.
Nice. Okay.
And he is the name of Phenomenova is the name of a superhero team of the next generation of heroes he will be joining. So it's going to become a team book. But I decided I wanted to focus on him and really simplify in issue 1. Because I think there's a lot of indie comics where they just throw too much shit at you in issue 1. Because they have a million ideas and a page count. Well, okay. Well, if I don't care about any of them, what's the point of having 8 superheroes, even if they all have cool designs, if I don't care about any of them?
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of individuals out there that they have huge rosters of characters. They just design character after character after character, but there's really no development in story. Like it's always these little quick one-shot things of introducing a character, but never any development. I'm not going to name any names, but when I say that, I've got a guy in mind.
Rob Liefeld.
Well, one of them, yeah, but I mean an indie guy. I've got him in mind when I'm saying this, right? But I've got hundreds of characters that are on the, like, oh, this would be a cool design.
Me
This would be
too.
a cool design. But I have spent the last 9 years developing the character, the personality, and the interpersonal dynamics of a handful of people. Not superheroes, like they're heroes, right? But people, so there's a relationship even between, like, one of my characters, Rascal, and Ion. There's, in the stories that I've written, there's conflict between the two of them because they came from 2 different places, but they worked together for a while. And this person that she was with turns out to be a lot more evil than what she thought. But she doesn't really think that he's being evil because he's evil. He's being evil for opportunity's sake, right? And I guess it's that kind of stuff that makes, I think, comics really interesting and stories really fun. That's why I go back and I watch Breaking Bad so many times, because I just love, how this whole time, this whole time that really the real character was Heisenberg and Walter White was the mask,
right?
The whole time, And when you realize that, and even at the end, when Marie's like, he thinks he's some criminal mastermind. No, he is a criminal mastermind. You don't understand. He's perfect at manipulation. And when you go back and watch again, it's like, how many times was he manipulating that other character to do what he wanted, trying to act like he was weak or what he was really weak?
Yeah.
You just never know. And so I love that storytelling. And so
that storytelling in that show is, I take influence from basically, I'll find myself often, even though I pull from superhero stuff, when I'm writing interpersonal dynamics, I find myself, find myself referencing so many things that I don't even realize.
It's all storytelling in the end, you know. But okay, so you're promising us a training montage, 80s style, on issue 2.
Issue 1 as well. There will be more. Yeah,
okay.
He's going to train a lot, but I'm going to keep it interesting.
So we've only got a couple minutes left, okay?
Yeah.
We close down at the 3-hour mark.
Okay.
Every great story has a great hero, but has an even better villain. Take a couple minutes. Tell me about this guy, this villain.
Okay. Yeah, he's shrouded in mystery, just like he is with shadows. Dark Cloud. So Dark Cloud is, here's the thing. I'm going to tell you, I have my favorite issue later on, actually, because I've written like the first 8 issues. My favorite issue is the one where they reveal his backstory. But I'll tell you what I want you to know. Dark Cloud is someone who at one point was fighting for good, and he kind of sees the world in a different light, a much more cynical light. He's someone who
he got old.
He got old. He has no superpowers, but he's got high tech armor. And in this world, what you kind of, I guess there's some world building through that humanity had to adapt as superhuman. So World War III was happened because superhumans kind of accelerated what were already conflicts, right? And so naturally, humans had to create technology to adapt. So technology has taken a leap forward. Now, Dark Cloud has an arsenal just filled with weapons, a lot of them weather cloud related. He has a signature cloud gun, which has a freeze ray component. It also has these pellets, these knockout pellets. He's got grenades. He's got all kinds of weapons. And he's basically just like a total killing machine if he wants to be, but he shows restraint. He doesn't kill unless he feels he needs to, but he is a force to be reckoned with. He is designed to take on superhumans. And he's an absolute badass, and he is part of a group. He's not alone in this heist. He's part of a whole team, and you'll see more of them that is taking on this heist. And he's got that. If you see that visor, he has this black smoke that completely blinds everyone else around him, but he can see through it perfectly like it's nothing with his mask. So he could just stealthily take out people that are completely blinded. Nice. I had so much fun coming up with this guy. Now, the problem is having an artist, I'm like, they had to feel that having to draw all this stuff is a lot. But I remember I had so much fun coming up with these gadgets. And then I was like, how do I defeat this guy? And how do I show off all of them? That was another thing too. As I was like, okay, I have to come up with a scenario where he's using, because his gadgets were all cool. I was like, all right, I have to come up with a scenario where he uses this gadget now. He's such a fun character. Because it's one thing to have a mysterious villain. One thing that is painful though is if you ever have villains that are built up as mysteries and then they take off the mask and like, oh,
yeah,
I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, they take off the mask and they have like thick lips or something like ridiculous.
Well, I wasn't even talking about. Yeah. I was talking more about the person. But I'll guess. Note to artists: don't. Hey, what do you have wrong with big lips? I have big lips. I have big ass lips, dude.
Yeah. So I kind of like the idea of a villain that's just kind of fed up with everything.
He's jaded.
And he's jaded, and so he's stealing stuff for, I guess, his own benefit, huh?
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you why he's stealing it, but he has his reasons. But I will say this, that he's kind of, as I developed it, he became more of a mirror reflection. Originally, when I was little, he was a Mr. Freeze knockoff. And then I kind of was like, okay, there's a nugget of a good idea here. Let me twist it around. But there was always a nugget of a good idea. And what I realized as I developed more about what my story is thematically about, the idealism and the selflessness, that he is someone who is kind of the opposite of that, where he goes, oh, everyone in this world is in it for itself. I got to be like that too. That Miles is a character who fights upstream, even when the world tells him not. And he's dumb and he has to learn his lessons because he's a dumb kid. But Dark Cloud is basically almost like adulthood saying, no, you got to give up on all of that and just look out for yourself.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to find through the story is there's a middle ground, right? I think all great villains have to reinforce what your hero is about.
And that just goes back to our theme.
Yeah.
It's staying fresh. How do we not become a Dark Cloud? Yeah. How do we stay a Miles? Kind of in our own life in comic books, man. It's tough.
Great concept.
I think your story is really got legs. I'm excited about it.
Thank you. I hope
I'm
so.
very impressed with your success so far.
I'm
glad to have you in comics. I really am. I'm glad that
Thank
you're
you.
here.
I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad even though I still love film, which is what I majored in, I'm glad I came over here, because I was reading Claremont's X-Men run and I was like, dude, this guy can just come up with these big budget ideas every month. And, whereas a movie, dude, if I were to spend this money, I guarantee you I would not have been able to have the budget. Take the same comic book budget. It may seem it's a lot you spend on comics until you realize, all right, you want to pay, you can draw that suit. You want to buy all those gadgets? No.
Yep.
You want to
No,
pay a
you wanna-
VFX artist?
It's what
You
Tony.
want to hire a CGI house to do that.
It's what Tony from.
You want to design a reactor, or do you want to pay an artist to draw the reactor?
Right. Yeah, it's what Tony from Terminal Kill learned is that it might have cost him like upwards of $20,000 or more to make this book, this 215-page graphic novel, but that's a drop in the bucket compared to make the film if you were going to make it as a film. And so but we have reached that time. Panel, thank you for being here with us today. Chat, as always, thank you. You make the show. We're so glad that you're able to be here with us today. Check out aerocomics.store. Go over there and back Rex's project.
Hell yeah.
The Devil Flyer on Fund My Comic as well. Check out Little Mermaid. Check out
Shadow Kingdom.
Shadow Kingdom over there on
Fund My Comic.
Yep. Go by LukeStoneStudios.com and pick up the free digital copies of the floppies of Hybrids, the Sons of Gods. All 9 that we have available. We do have more books getting ready to drop here later this year. So we do thank you for that. Guys, remember, it's so easy to tear down. It really is. And we see a lot of people doing it every day. In fact, it becomes like that's what everybody does. So that's why we do it, right? That's the only way to make it ahead. But it's not. There's a better way, guys. You can build up.
Yeah.
You can leave the wood pile higher than you found it. And you know what? I really hope that you guys are all careful out there.
And like my comic says, it's not you can deconstruct, but you want to reconstruct and reconstitute.
Yeah, very good, guys.
Cynicism.
Yep.
We have to make cynicism passe.
Leave the wood pile higher than you found it. You guys be careful out there.
Let's be careful out there. Let's be careful out there.